Coming to you live from Stuart, Florida, the greatest little town in the world, it's the award-winning, critically acclaimed Get Up and Go show on AM 1450 WSTU. You're invited to call the show anytime at 772-220-9788. And now, broadcasting live from the Palatial Studios, here are your hosts, Evan and Bonnie.
Well, thank you very, 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 very much, Mr. Announcer. The date is Friday, March the 19th, and boy, am I glad that it is Friday.
Hey, wake up, stupid!
I am awake.
Well, good morning.
And a good morning to you, too. That's right. It's always a big rush when around here when we know that it's actually Friday. The time now is officially 6:08. Mr. Clock, would you please certify that?
It's now 6:08 a.m.
And a good Friday morning to you, Miss Bonnie.
Happy Friday, Evan.
That's right.
I feel more awake than usual this morning. You know, every Friday I come in a bit tired, and I even worked late last night, so I don't know why I'm feeling so awake.
I'm still on that sugar high from Wednesday.
Maybe that's what's happening.
Yeah,
Maybe
definitely.
The sugars are still floating along in my system.
Definitely. So I bet you can't wait for 9 o'clock to come because you're out of here and you and Gary are northbound, right?
Yep, we're going to be going to DeLand and the Ocala National Forest area.
Oh, man, that's so gorgeous up there.
And I think we're like 1 week behind. Bike week was last week, but we'll still see many bikers. It's around the Daytona area.
That's okay.
So a bike week has been going on up there too. But, you know, springtime, it's a fun time to go. Sometimes we go to the springs in that area. I visited Alexander Springs and Ponce de Leon, where the temperature of the water stays 72 all year round.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go, peeling off clothes again, like you always do.
I know, because I thought
Getting
about
undressed on the radio. Come on.
I've thought about diving into the spring water right now.
There
and
you
how
go.
refreshing.
There you go. How many layers do you usually wear when you come in here?
Just two,
Okay,
usually two.
okay.
But
You know,
yeah.
it was cold in here this morning, and for me to say that, it was cold.
That is for you to say.
Yeah.
Usually you have it like on like that temperature.
I
It's
came in
cold
this morning, the
here.
thermostat was down to 65. I went in the other room and thought I was going to find meat hanging from the ceiling or something.
Yeah, usually it's so cold in here, Evan, I could bring my lunch in and, you know, keep it cool all morning.
Exactly.
I don't need a little cooler.
Exactly. So, yeah, I had a conversation with G yesterday, and he was very taken back that we took the time to send them breakfast yesterday morning.
Oh, did they eat all of the,
Oh,
eat up
yeah.
all of the
Oh, yeah.
deliciousness?
There wasn't one speck left for the cockroaches.
It's been a long time since I've had one of those grand slams from Denny's.
If you want, I'll order one up right now.
Save it, because usually every
Okay.
Sunday when we go to DeLand, we
Okay.
go to the Denny's in that area.
All you got to do
And-
is just say, hey, Evan, I like some breakfast this morning. And you know what? I'll pick up my phone and I'll get on DoorDash and I'll have it here lickety split for you. You and I will have an all-American slam first thing in the morning.
Well, thank you. Maybe we'll do it another day.
Maybe next week.
I got to keep my girlish figure for the weekend.
Oh, yes.
Or
Got
what's-
to get into that new two-piece that you bought.
Yeah, I'm almost wish I was staying in town, because it looks like Strawberry Fest is going on tomorrow
Oh,
and
that is
Sunday.
such a great time.
Yeah, and this again is at the Mid-Florida Event Center. Used to be the Civic Center. They've been having some really nice festivals over there.
Now, why do they call it Strawberry Festival, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, they are bringing in fresh strawberries from Plant City.
Oh,
And
okay.
Plant City is where they have that really, it's well known, that really big strawberry festival over there going toward the West Coast.
Okay.
I think for some reason I remember Reba McEntire even being at that Plant City Strawberry Festival one year. So it's pretty big over there. They're having it here because it looks pretty exciting. I could handle going out there for some fresh strawberry
I
shortcake.
couldn't figure out, Bonnie, why I couldn't see clearly this morning. And I just figured it out. I didn't have my eyeballs on.
Oh, no.
I didn't put my glasses on this morning.
That's why.
That's why I'm looking at my computer. I'm like, wow, a little fuzzy.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
You would think putting on those eyeglasses would just be like a natural part of your day, like riding
Oh,
a bike.
man. Look
like
at
you
that. I
wouldn't
can
forget.
actually see now. Wow.
Clearly, right?
Oh, no, I'm just kidding.
I know I am that scary at
No, you're that
at 6
beautiful.
a.m..
You're that beautiful. Come
Oh,
on, don't be
gosh.
degrading
I
yourself.
can't do anything with myself at 4 in the morning.
Sure you
I just
can.
don't feel like it.
Sure, you just roll out of bed, dust yourself off, wipe the sleepy dust out of your eyes,
I am wearing
smell
the,
your wrist like you just did. You must be wearing some perfume or
Yeah.
something.
It's Avon Winterberry
Oh.
autumn. No, it's autumn berry.
I can smell it all the way
Cologne.
over here.
It's Avon.
Yeah.
I got it the last time I
Smells
was at
pretty.
the Mount Dora flea market.
It smells pretty.
That's where I'm going to be going tomorrow. The
Mount Dora?
flea market in Mount Dora.
Okay.
Yeah.
You going to buy some fleas? I wonder why they call it a flea market. Why? I'd like to find out who the heck the person was that came up with the name flea market. I mean, think about that.
Yeah. it's
Why do they
spelled-
call it a flea market? Maybe you can find out what the origin
Yeah.
of a flea market is,
Okay.
because I find that very strange. What do you got?
My guess is, well, flea, FLEA, is spelt like a flea, like when
Right.
you get fleas.
Well, I don't get fleas. I hope you don't.
And
Maybe the
when
pets do.
They do say flea market. You buy the goods, you don't stick
Mhm.
around, and then you flee, right? You leave the
I
market.
don't know. But I mean, stop and think about that. Why in God's green earth did they name that type of a place where you go to shop a flea market? Why couldn't have they called it a cockroach market?
Oh, this is weird. Okay, so
Go ahead.
maybe better they do call it a flea market
Okay.
than a cockroach. I mean, would you prefer a flea to a cockroach?
Well, I don't care. I mean, they could call it a flea market. They call it an ant market. They can call it a centipede market. There's all different things. But why did they choose the word flea market?
Oh, wow, this is weird. Okay, so one theory maintains that flea market is a common English calque from the French
Mhm.
marquis au process, which literally translates to market of the fleas, labeled as such because the items sold were previously owned and worn, supposedly containing fleas.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Better than cockroaches, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, I don't go to flea markets and buy clothes really, but I will buy the lotions and potions, and I'll look for purses if they have a nice purse store, maybe the Avon products, the jams, the jellies from the Amish,
Mhm.
and the tomatoes and the fresh produce from
Right.
the farmers.
I just find that very strange. A flea market.
Flea market, yeah.
God, why in God's name a flea market?
And I wouldn't want to wear anything that used to contain any fleas.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure why.
Because then you'd be itching your arse off.
Let's
Literally.
see. What is another word for flea market?
Mhm.
Another word for flea market would be, of course, the rummage sale.
Oh, now see that's okay. There you go. You just, instead of calling it a flea market, why don't they call it a rummage market?
Yeah,
Think about that.
I think it seems like there's a big one up
Right?
at Fort Pierce that was on Virginia Avenue
Mhm.
that I visited. I don't think they called it a flea market. I think they called it some kind of a huge rummage sale also.
Well,
They
here's
have a
another
different
name
word for
for
it.
a flea market.
Yeah.
Swap shop.
Swap shop.
The one in Fort Lauderdale, the big one that's on Sunrise Boulevard.
Yeah, that's
They
a
call
good
that
one.
they call that the swap shop.
I went to that one year. That takes
Oh.
up like a few blocks.
A
Doesn't it, Evan?
couple of football fields at least.
Didn't they have like elephants out there too
They had
at
a whole
one time?
circus.
A whole
They had a whole
circus. like-
circus out there.
that was before I visited it, but I went to visit it when they didn't have circus animals. But
Mhm.
it was a huge, fascinating flea market.
Oh yeah, that's a drive-in movie theater also.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, think about that. Why couldn't they call it a rummage market instead of a flea market?
Or a swap meet.
Right? A swap meet.
Yeah. A moving sale might
Right.
be another word, or maybe a bazaar.
That's a bazaar.
Yeah.
A bazaar. There is one that's on if you bring up bazaar, there is a bazaar center on Sample Road in the Florida Turnpike.
Is there?
And it's called
Yeah.
the Pompano Bazaar, if I'm not mistaken.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I would have to take an Uber down there. I don't.
Oh,
I
that
get-
would be too expensive, Bonnie.
I get all nervous when I get down, and when the highways get so big down there, and then
Mhm.
you got to exit Sample, and you got 441.
Yeah.
I think running east and west. It gets all so confusing.
I don't like driving down that way unless I absolutely have to, because like you said, that's like I don't know, it's crazy. It's pandemonium.
It
People
is.
they don't care down there. they'll just run you off the road.
Oh man, and when there's like an accident and there's
Mhm.
traffic backup, it gets kind of scary
Oh,
out
forget
there.
it.
People, you can hear people kind of yelling and screaming,
Mhm.
sometimes yelling at each other. And
Sometimes it's like a demolition derby down there.
it is.
It's crazy. When I go to my
Yeah.
parents' grave and visit my parents down in Davie, my parents are laid to rest at 595 and Davie Road Extension. It's a cemetery
It's a
called.
busy one, isn't it?
Well,
Ooh.
that's not as busy as 595 in the Turnpike.
Oh,
Because to get to there, you have to take the Turnpike down to 595, and then when you get off, it like loops all the way around to the left, and then
Yeah.
it curves.
Oh, I don't
and
like
this
that.
and that and the other. Oh my God,
Oh,
it's crazy.
That would mess with me. You're going down that way tomorrow, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm going to get shot. Well, not shot literally, but I mean, I'm going to get shot.
I wouldn't want your Saturday knowing you're going to get a shot in the arm and you got to make that drive down there. Well, you're going into the morning, so you'll probably beat the traffic.
Yeah.
I know we've taken that way down to the Keys. Like sometimes we've left on an early Friday.
Yeah,
or
you get on that
early
turn. You
a
get on that
Saturday.
turn off of the
Yeah.
Turnpike down in Pompano area. You get on the Turnpike extension. It's called the Sawgrass, and then you take the Sawgrass west, and then it loops south, and then it changes into 75 south, and then you just keep going and going and going and going until you get all the way down to US 1 in Southwest Miami.
That's what we must have taken one time. We did take, I think it was the Turnpike involved, but we left early on a Saturday morning and we got to the base of the Keys right before entering the Keys in like a matter of 2 hours.
Yeah, that's about right. That sounds about, it's the northern portion of the Keys. That's like Key Biscayne. That's where it starts. Then you have Key Largo, you have this key, you have that key. By the time you're done, you've got the keys to everybody's house.
Yeah.
Literally.
Key?
I like going to Key West. I've been to Key West quite a few times. And I've been there on a cruise ship. I've been there driving with the wife and the kids.
Yeah.
When I used to do syndicated talk radio, we did our show from one of the hotels down in Key West.
Oh, wow.
I've been to Isla Mirada, which is like the party city area. That's like the spring break
That's
area.
where they have the swim with the dolphins, I believe.
Yeah.
Isla Mirada.
Yeah, down there. So that's a pretty cool place to go. The Keys is a lot of fun, but
Yep.
I don't like the drive though because it takes forever in a day.
Well, it's
you got to pack breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah. I think my favorite is I like Marathon Key.
Oh, Marathon's
One of the
real
best.
nice.
Yeah.
Marathon's nice.
We stayed at a place called the Blackfin.
Okay.
And we rented a boat.
You ever gone across the 7 Mile Bridge?
Oh, many times.
Oh, that's a little scary.
I like it. I like it though.
That's definitely a little scary.
Kind of pretty seeing like the water on both ends. And
Right.
we took a boat out there and we went out in the Gulf and you can go miles and miles out there. We had a little depth finder on our boat. And we're just like out there, and it's only like 4 or 5 feet deep with our depth finder.
I kind of missed my boat, but I don't miss my boat because the happiest day was when I bought my boat.
Yeah,
I almost killed my whole family the first time I took it out.
well, at least you didn't let it sink.
I don't know what the heck I was doing. I just like put throttle up and just
Yeah.
go, and that was the wrong thing to
You got to
do.
take some boating safety courses.
Well, I did.
or
and I
get out
did.
there with somebody who has the boating experience at first to show you.
Maybe
the
I
moves.
should have had Captain Bonnie guide me
Yeah.
or something like that.
No, I would need some experience for the waterways around here.
It is 6:20 on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It is the Friday edition. It's time for news. Let's go over to the news desk where Bonnie is standing by with the morning headlines. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. A Fort Pierce family is now left without a home after an accidental fire sparked on Wednesday night. Here's WPTV's Derek Lowe.
Inside this home in the Spanish Lakes community,
I got here within 4 minutes, and the house was engulfed.
nothing is able to be saved.
I was at work, and my sister was next door. And she just told me she has my husband, and my house is on fire. It's burning to the ground.
Leslie Seibert says her roommate was asleep when her 92-year-old husband was in the back welding on a bike. A lifelong auto and bike mechanic who his wife says has dementia and is partially blind.
Sparks flew and hit the carpet. And I guess he panicked, and he froze.
Now in the hospital with third-degree burns, Leslie's husband was able to crawl to the front and was dragged out of the burning home by the roommate. 3 pets did not survive in the flames.
It was out of control, so these places go up like a matchbook.
Frank Darmiento lives in the community.
It's sad the homeowner doesn't have any coverage, and I try to get insurance and they just won't insure you. It's hard to get insurance on these mobile homes.
Now left with nothing for a third time, Leslie says she has previously had to rebuild after hurricanes.
There's no assistance, like, can you just give me a temporary place to lay my head? I slept in my truck last night because I couldn't get any assistance.
The fire district tells me that they are assisting, and Leslie says that she's also receiving some temporary help from the American Red Cross. Reporting in Fort Pierce, I'm Derek Lowe, WPTV, News Channel 5.
A panel of experts assembled by Governor DeSantis delivers praise for the strategies he used to respond to COVID-19 while criticizing conventional wisdom in dealing with the pandemic.
Those experts, including a former member of the Trump administration's coronavirus task force, said the cure was often worse than the disease. Looking ahead, Governor DeSantis said Florida will not require proof of vaccines for travel or any other reason.
And if folks try to start doing it privately, we may have a role to play there as well.
The panel also denounced lockdowns, school closures, and mask mandates in other states. I'm Gordon Bird.
Florida once again leads in pedestrian deaths. WPTV's Todd Wilson has the story.
Nick Panayotto and his wife get out on a walk on a regular basis. The former New Yorker says he feels relatively well out for some exercise.
After being here in Florida for 4 years, Florida drivers generally are more courteous than New York drivers.
Well, according to Smart Growth America and the National Complete Streets Coalition, Florida ranks worst in the nation for pedestrian danger between 2010 and 2019.
Well, the statistics speak for themselves. I have to go by that.
The report says most streets are inherently dangerous because with wide lanes, a lack of high visibility crosswalks, and long distances between intersections. Boca Raton City Councilman Andy Thompson says work is needed to create a safer environment.
It's like pedestrians who don't have the benefit of a ton of steel surrounding them, or bicyclists, same way, or joggers. And so now the emphasis is on making these roadway networks safer for everybody.
He says safe designs include narrower travel lanes and in-road lights, like this one in Tampa, can help illuminate crosswalks. Over the past decade, Boca has set their sights on having complete streets.
Which means trying to draw down the speed of the cars, having a buffer between a sidewalk and the traffic, having separated bike lanes so that the bicyclists feel safe riding out there on the road, having wider sidewalks.
Nick says while improvements are needed, he's glad to see a city making the effort for safer streets. In Boca Raton, Todd Wilson, WPTV.
The Honda Classic couldn't happen without the help of nearly 1,200 volunteers who donate hours of time to make the tournament run smoothly and give guests the best possible experience. Volunteer has spent years going the extra mile to make the PGA Tour event extra special for the youngest golf fans. That's why Tom Gibbs, age 75, was awarded Volunteer of the Year after the tournament organizers felt his good heart deserved special recognition. Gibbs can often be found staking his claim in the shadiest spot by the 11th hole, stepping out when it's time to silence the crowd. He gets a great view of the players, but the best part, he said, is being in the mix with the fans, especially the youngest ones. And lastly, according to the technology website The Verge, President Biden will name former Florida U.S. Senator Bill Nelson as the new NASA administrator, succeeding Trump appointee Jim Bridenstine. Nelson, who lost his Senate seat to Rick Scott in 2018, flew aboard Space Shuttle Columbia in 1986. Well, our scores last night from Major League Baseball, the spring training scores, we had Washington Nationals swinging by the New York Mets. That score was 3-1 yesterday. Chicago White Sox 9-7 over the Royals. The Cubs by a run beating the Indians. Miami Marlins losing to the St. Louis by a score of 7-5, and Texas Rangers over the Cincinnati Reds. News time 6:26. I have weather and traffic together next.
6:27 right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together. It's all brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
On the Turnpike northbound in Fort Pierce this morning at mile marker 152, there is an accident. This is northbound. There's not any roadblock up that way from an accident. Let's see, there's one to the north of it too. Oh, this one is on I-95 southbound in Vero Beach, and it takes place at mile marker 153 southbound. And it looks like there's not any roadblock from that area. Martin County, we have a nice ride. No accidents. There's your latest look at traffic. It's 71 in Lucy. It's 35 this morning in Waukegan, Illinois. Here's our weather at WPTV.
Happy Friday, sunshines. A few showers to start off your Friday morning. Then we'll see clearing conditions throughout the afternoon with more sunshine by the middle part of the day. Afternoon highs in the upper 70s to low 80s with winds out of the north-northwest around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, a chilly night on tap. We'll see temperatures down to the mid-50s under mostly clear skies. Tomorrow, highs in the mid to upper 70s. Some isolated showers possible for both Saturday and Sunday, slowly warming up by the middle of next week. I'm WPTV First Alert Meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
Do you have a suggestion for the show? Send us an email, WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. And now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
So you're saying the universe created a sitcom starring two Avengers?
It's 11:30. I need some caffeine.
I'm Wanda. Wanda.
I'll stay up over analyzing every scene.
Wanda. Who's doing the C, Wanda?
Thursday night at midnight, decision to make.
You don't get to make that choice for me, Wanda.
Do I wait until tomorrow? Do I stay up late?
Wanda decides what makes it onto her show and what doesn't.
Fill my eyes with that WandaVision.
Wanda, listen to me. This whole thing is about vision.
I'm sleep deprived from that WandaVision.
Maybe I could get that coffee now? Or not?
Woo, have a little decency. Keep your comments spoiler free. That WandaVision is a masterpiece.
Now I know, Bonnie, you remember the original artist that did that song and the actual real name of the song, right?
That Double Vision, Getting the Best of Me.
Right?
Yeah.
That's by Foreigner, I think, was the one who did that originally, if I remember correctly.
You're correct, Evan.
Yes. It was called Double Vision. Anyway, without further ado, let's do some viral videos. So there's a comedian by the name of Mary Kelly who does a great impression of Drew Barrymore being overly humble while telling a barista that her coffee order was wrong.
Drew is very nice. You know, I
Yes.
could picture Drew doing.
God bless you.
Thank you. The allergies. Boy, it's that oak pollen that's in the air.
I know you're
lately.
just allergic to me. You don't want to admit it, but that's all right.
No, I'm allergic to fleas. It's those fleas
Yes,
that we were talking
exactly,
about, making my nose itch. But Drew would do this sort of thing,
Yeah.
I think.
So she apologizes for even asking to have it remade, and promises to leave a very good Yelp review. So let's listen to the comedian Mary Kelly doing her best Drew Barrymore. Here we go.
Yeah, it's me, Drew. I just picked my latte up, and I think it might have oat milk instead of almond. So sorry to ask this of you, but do you mind remaking it for me with almond milk instead?
Do you
Oh my
mind?
gosh, you're the
Do you
best.
mind?
Thank you. I don't want to bother you. I love being kind and spreading positivity. So I just feel so bad. You know what? Let me pay for the coffee behind me as well for good karma. What's your name? Okay, I'm going to write a good Yelp review because you're the best. Thank you.
I mean, that was spot on.
She is spot on, and you know, she even her facial expressions
Yeah.
looked a little bit like Drew Barrymore's facial expressions, and you know, she's got a. Do you think like Drew is so nice, like she's almost too nice, like she's gonna snap?
I don't know.
I mean, how can you be that nice all the time?
I don't know.
But that girl right there, yeah, you're right, Evan. She was definitely spot on.
I have another video of a guy with a great set of pipes, meaning, you know, he's a great vocalist, and he's feeding raspberry preserves to this adorable little opossum
Yummy.
at his window.
I think we should get some raspberry
Right?
preserves
Okay, so-
on a bagel.
Listen to the guy and watch. Of course, our listeners can't watch, but listen to the guy as he's singing to the opossum.
There once were preserves of raspberry that I portioned out on a fork for free
Look at him,
for a
Bonnie.
friend who can't catch rabies, the possum at my... Soon may the marsupial come for numb, and when the snacking is done, he'll scream and eat some ticks.
Eat some
I don't have
ticks.
another verse yet. Oh, you precious fluffy tree rat. Yes, it's
He thinks the opossum is a little cat or
Yeah,
something.
exactly.
Like the guy looks like he's almost going to invite him in his home to become a domestic pet.
That was just like a really adorable little video there
That's a cute little thing.
of the guy feeding the opossum there.
Very cute.
Have
They're-
you ever made an attempt to feed an opossum before?
I haven't. No,
I don't suggest it.
But they're really docile. When you see an opossum, it would
Mm-hmm.
rather away from you,
Right.
and they're very, very, very shy.
They are.
But you know, because of the rabies thing, and you wouldn't want to approach him and really try to feed him.
No.
Even with a fork like that guy was doing.
Not at all. Not in the least
raspberry
bit.
jam on the fork. Did you see the video of the sports video this morning, Evan, of the Honda Classic where the
Uh-huh.
PGA golfer Sebastian Kaplan,
Mhm.
he took off his shirt and a shoe to hit a shot out of the water.
No, I didn't see that.
I saw it on the news this morning, and
Uh-huh.
I'm kind of a sexy golfer there, I must
Oh,
say.
Bonnie,
and
look at you.
taking off the shirt and his shoe, and he gets right down.
Golf lessons.
He shoots the ball uphill, and
Yeah?
I guess, and he actually came away with a pretty nice shot. And
Yeah.
it would have even been better if he could have followed it up by the sinking putt, but he missed it.
Oh, so you think he's a little bit of a hunk,
He was, yeah. It's like just a video of this guy going viral,
Mhm.
and a good thing he was in Florida, taking
Mhm.
off the shirt
Yeah.
and the shoes and all, and having to get in the water for
Bonnie's
it.
probably thinking, come over here. Let me be your caddy for a day.
I don't know.
Hey, did you know that 60% of us think our significant other looks hot when they wear workout clothes?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Now, I think that's true. I really do. I think that a person, whether it's male or a female, yeah, they kind of look a little bit better when they're wearing workout clothes. What are your thoughts
Oh, yeah.
on that?
I like it when the guys wear the tank tops too, just like a
Mhm.
sporty tank top.
Yeah.
And yeah,
All their muscles are showing.
my guy has like a couple of tattoos that he sports. He's
Mhm.
not like all tatted up or
Right.
anything, but
Right.
he has a real cool tattoo or two. And, I like that look for sure.
Now, this next one, you can attest to this and tell me if this is true because you own a couple of cats. Did you know that cats spend 66% of their life sleeping?
Yeah,
Is
that's
that true?
And it might be even more. It might be even more so.
Really?
They sleep a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, when they're not bothering you for food, or when maybe they're not chasing a housefly or something,
Okay.
then they are fast asleep curled up somewhere.
Okay. Did you know that according to a recent survey of drivers all over the United States, more than half said that seeing police lights in the rearview mirror is the most stressful thing they could encounter on their way to work?
It is. Don't you feel that too?
I don't get nervous at all.
No?
No, I don't get nervous at all. If I see police lights in my rearview mirror,
Yeah.
what I usually do is I pull immediately over to the right, hoping and praying to God that they're going to go by me and not pull me over.
Oh.
But if they do pull me over, I roll my windows down immediately.
Yeah.
Both hands on the steering wheel at 10 and 2, and I sit there like a frozen soldier until the officer gives me a directive on what he would like me to do.
Those lights are kind of meant to
Mhm.
the colors really alarm you.
Mhm.
They alarm me if I see that in my rear view window.
Mhm.
I saw something on the way to work this morning, Evan.
Mhm.
Right on top of the Roosevelt Bridge there was a grill.
A grill.
A grill, yes.
Just a grill sitting there.
And it wasn't blocking traffic. It was on the side of the road.
A grill.
I was way in the left lane coming southbound.
Okay.
And to the left of me in the more of like the biking
emergency
lane, or
lane.
what? Yeah, that lane.
Okay.
There was just a
grill.
barbecue grill. It looks like a grill that I use for grilling on at home.
Maybe somebody wanted to have a picnic on top of the Roosevelt Bridge.
Maybe.
I'm going to have a conversation with Brian Bosio.
Maybe they left it for, like if you get hungry going across that bridge, you could just
Interesting.
have a barbecue up there.
Wow.
And
Okay.
maybe feed our friend the osprey.
Yeah,
did
the osprey.
Did they name him Stuart?
Yeah,
I think?
Stuart, I think is what they called him.
Yeah, Stuart the
Stuart the
osprey.
osprey.
We'll do some grilling up there.
Wow, very interesting. Did you know that an online poll revealed that 53% of people feel taking a class or group activity is the best way to meet somebody? What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's a cool way to meet somebody
Mhm.
because you're going to have something in common,
Mhm.
with that person.
I think it beats going on Tinder and swiping left or right,
Uh-huh.
without a doubt.
I've never done that on Tinder. I mean, I don't know for sure.
I hear several people that I've known have been on Tinder, and you either swipe left or swipe right. I don't know which way is the right way to swipe, but you're swiping one way or another. Did you know that 4% of people admit standing someone up on a date at least once? 4% of people have
Yeah.
admitted it.
Wow.
Now, Bonnie, in your younger years, which wasn't too long ago, when you were dating, okay, you weren't having a boyfriend, but you would go out on a date. Did you ever stand up any of the guys that asked you out?
No, I didn't. I didn't stand anybody up.
No?
Not that I remember.
You didn't
really.
no-show anybody?
No.
Never no-showed anybody.
No.
I have.
Did you do that?
Yeah, I have. I've no-showed a girl or two.
Really?
In my time, yeah.
Were you supposed to pick her up from mom and dad's house and then you
I
just
don't remember,
didn't
but
show
I
up?
just know that I no-showed because I found out some dirt on that person. I'm not going to mention her name.
That was ghosting back because we didn't have
Yeah.
the computers and the technology. We just no-showed.
Yeah,
we,
just
we didn't show
no-showed.
that we.
Yeah.
That's how we ghosted.
That's
right?
it. I did it a few times.
Yeah.
Because I found out some dirt on the girl that I was supposed to take out.
Oh boy.
And I got to the root of the dirt, and the dirt was dirtier than dirt.
Now, how did you find dirt on a person back in that day? Because you didn't have resources like Facebook material or
Right.
anything. Was that just kind of like you heard it from a friend of a friend of a friend?
There
of
you go.
hearsay?
You hit the nail right on the head. It's just like going to Google and you type somebody's name in. Well, you go to a human being and you call them a human Google. And you
I
ask,
see.
hey, have you heard about, what do you know about Jane Doe? I've got a date with her later today.
But how did you know that this
Well-
human Google was resourceful with their information
Well,
and had accurate information?
Here's the thing. When I went to 3 or 4 different people about one person and they all told me the same thing about this person, yeah, you kind of think it was true.
So 100 Elvis fans couldn't be wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
That's a good analogy. I
Yeah.
like that. Did you know that over 85% the average woman has a favorite piece of clothing for at least 13 years?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I believe it. There's certain clothing you
Yeah.
just don't want to let go of.
Yep. And did you know that a careerbuilder.com survey says that 11% of people say they have missed work because of bad weather?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm sure
Okay.
most of them up north too because of
Yeah.
bad weather and snowstorms.
So yesterday, my wife comes up to me and she goes, I really enjoyed shopping at that store yesterday.
Yeah, I'm so happy for Rachel.
So wait, it gets
Yeah.
better. The plot thickens, okay? The plot thickens because I could tell in the tone of her voice.
She wanted more.
Oh boy, did she want more.
She wants more of it.
Yeah, she wants more of it.
I love it,
She
and I
goes,
want more of it.
I got these great coupons that I could use. I think it was called Torrid, if I'm not mistaken.
Torrid, I think that
Yeah.
she said, yeah.
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 So she goes coupon for like $10 off this and 25% off this and this. And she goes, I think I might go back and get a few things. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
She goes, can I have your American Express card?
So
I'm
were
like,
you still feeling in that giving mood where you gave up the card?
well, I said to her, I said to the wife, I'm like, all right, just remind me later. Okay, and I'll give it to you before I go to bed.
Yeah.
Hoping that she would
That
forget.
she would forget about it.
Well, I was about ready to go to bed, and
Yeah.
and I just kind of felt it was like, she was really huggy yesterday. Like,
Aw.
can I have a hug?
Oh,
You know,
that's
can
so
I have a
nice.
hug? Yeah, I mean, it's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice. It was really nice. And then I'm in my office doing a few things, and she's in my office, and she's just like standing there, and she does like this, just one of
Oh,
these.
yeah, she
I'm
wanted
like,
it.
huh?
Yeah.
I'm like, she goes,
She wanted the card.
I need the American Express card. I'm like, oh, okay. So I gave it to her.
It must be a great store. She wanted to go back. Go
Yeah,
back
sure.
already.
Yeah, sure. I mean, why not? Just let's spend more money. What
Uh-huh.
the heck? What do we got to lose?
Usually
What's
I
not our
have to
money?
wear one or two of the outfits before I go back and
Yeah.
just enjoy that for a while.
She
But
hadn't even worn none of the outfits yet.
Yeah.
But there's one or two other things that she does wants. There's a pair of boots that we didn't get that were on sale, and a couple of other things. I mean, they did have some great deals. You buy one, get 75% off the other.
that's good. That's a good deal right there.
And then we're a
Yeah.
military family, so we got 10% off.
Oh,
So
man.
the total of dollars that we spent, we saved $170+
That's awesome. That's
after all
amazing.
discounts.
Yeah.
So that worked out really nice.
Mhm.
So that was
Plus,
that
she
was
came out
good.
happy. That was a good day.
Yeah, well, after today, she damn sure better be happy. That's all I gotta say. Man, wow.
Using the old credit card.
Using the old credit card. But it's crazy because after she uses the credit card, I pay it off instantaneously.
Yeah.
Because I don't want no interest charges. And the only reason I use the Amex card is because I get miles
Mm-hmm.
on Delta. So for every $1 I spend, I get a mile. So I got
Incredible.
600 miles the other day.
That's great.
So and you only need
Terrific.
27,000 for a free ticket.
Yeah.
So I mean, just think about how much money you got to spend. Anyway, it's time for news. Let's head over to the news desk where Bonnie is standing by. It's all brought to you by St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. Go visit our good friend Hawk Levy at St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin for the best deals in town. Bonnie?
For many businesses in downtown Stewart, their daily routine will never be the same. WPTV's Ryan Hughes has more.
On the streets of downtown Stewart and inside the stores, a rare form of kindness is now missing.
Just today's world,
It would be so nice to see other people take some of that.
A stack of mail sits on the counter inside Gumbo Limbo, but that daily delivery is just not the same.
Door would open, whatever time of day he was coming with the mail, and he would say, "Honey, I'm home." And not just in a low tone. He would walk through the front door and yell it so everybody in the store.
Patty O'Connell says Calvin Berry was so much more than her mailman over the years. He was like family.
He never came through the door without having something great to say.
And when he walked through April Day's boutique around the corner,
he came in here every day and talked to us. He didn't just come in and drop the mail. We became friends, and we loved Calvin.
But the 58-year-old went missing last week. One day later, his body found in a canal in Port St. Lucie. When word spread through these businesses,
Well, we were shocked first. And we just prayed that obviously it wouldn't turn out as it did. There's a big void here.
He made an impact and was just always positive.
Gumbo Limbo and April Days posting tributes on Instagram and offering sympathy to Calvin's family.
I'll miss him. He's definitely an angel, that's for sure.
Now, every time the mail truck drives past, these merchants say they will always remember his smile, striking personality, and sweet soul.
Police say there's no evidence to suggest foul play, but the case remains active. Merchants downtown are still brainstorming ideas on how to honor Calvin. In downtown Stewart, Ryan Hughes, WPTV, News Channel 5.
A controversial project to build 3 major highways in Florida is being met with opposition by some in the state Senate. WPTV's Capitol reporter Forrest Saunders has details.
I'm Forrest Saunders at the Capitol. A pandemic and budget shortfall have lawmakers second-guessing a plan to build 3 new toll roads in the state. Thursday afternoon, members advanced a bill repealing and defunding the controversial MCORS project, sending that bill to the Senate floor. Senator Gail Harrell thinks Florida no longer needs the MCORS project, which aims to expand the Suncoast Parkway north, Florida's Turnpike west, and create a new corridor through rural South Central land.
You can't not build roads. The question is, where do you build them? How you build them? Are they financially feasible?
Her bill, SB 100, would repeal and defund MCORS, and though it still allows for a road north to Georgia, it directs most of its attention to bolstering existing roads. Specifically, the bill aims to address congestion on I-75 and improve rural 2-lane roads to accommodate commercial trucks.
CS for SB 100 is reported favorably.
The bill received bipartisan support in committee, nearly every member in favor, though a few Democrats held back.
I take no joy in voting no.
Senator Gary Farmer wanting better protection for the environment and impacted communities.
Sometimes if we all vote yes, maybe we lose momentum on how we can, still improve a bill.
Though SB 100 continues to make strides in the Senate, nothing close to it has gotten traction in the House. The governor has also asked for $700 million to fund MCORS in the coming fiscal year, suggesting he may still be a fan. Despite those challenges, Harrell seemed confident her bill is destined for approval, saying it's all part of the negotiation process. That's the latest out here at the Capitol. I'm Forrest Saunders reporting.
The $1.3 million Jensen Beach mooring field on the Indian River Lagoon finally will open to the public tomorrow, county officials said on Thursday. The 56 mooring units, which allows boaters to secure their vessels to buoys attached to permanent anchors, will be available by reservation on a first-come, first-served basis. County spokesperson Martha Ann Kness said the 24-hour mooring field on Northeast Causeway Boulevard off the Jensen Beach Causeway will accommodate vessels up to 50 feet. And lastly, a cop and a paramedic got called to the same emergency at a restaurant in England, and now they're engaged. He wanted to ask for her number, and she didn't have a chance, but luckily she liked him too and found him on Facebook the next day. The NCAA said it has completed more than 9,100 COVID-19 tests heading into the NCAA tournament with only 8 total positives among Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3 personnel. The tournament begins Thursday with the first 4 featuring games at Indiana's Assembly Hall and Purdue's Mackey Arena. The NCAA does not reveal who tested positive, although one came from a game official on Monday night. That official and 5 others who had been in contact were sent home from Indianapolis. News time is 6:52, and we'll have weather and traffic together next.
6:53 right now on the Get Up and Go show. It's time for traffic and weather together, all brought to you by Waterway Dermatology. Dr. Ryan Schuring, located at 1050 Monterey Road in Stewart, bringing personalized health care back to dermatology the Waterway. Bonnie?
Up in Vero Beach, we're finding a hit-and-run crash on I-95 southbound, and this is at mile marker 153 at southbound, and there's not any traffic tie-ups in that area. And right here in Martin County, keep in mind, I did see a barbecue grill hanging out on the Roosevelt Bridge this morning, but not blocking traffic, so if you're see it in that little side lane where traffic isn't in. But just be aware. And but no tie-ups on the roads right here. There's your latest look at traffic. And it's 71 in Stewart. In Lillystead, Holland this morning, 44 and clear sky. Here's our weekend weather right here at WPTV.
Happy Friday, sunshines. A few showers to start off your Friday morning. Then we'll see clearing conditions throughout the afternoon with more sunshine by the middle part of the day. Afternoon highs in the upper 70s to low 80s with winds out of the north-northwest around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, a chilly night on tap. We'll see temperatures down to the mid-50s under mostly clear skies. Tomorrow, highs in the mid to upper 70s. Some isolated showers possible for both Saturday and Sunday, slowly warming up by the middle of next week. I'm WPTV First Alert Meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
If you have a suggestion for the show, we would love to hear from you. Send us an email to WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. Now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
All right, 6:58 on the Get Up and Go show. Coming up in the 7 o'clock hour, we'll, of course, have birthdays and anniversaries. And then the 8 o'clock hour, hopefully we're going to connect with a good friend of mine all the way from Jerusalem. Michael Friedson is going to be here. He heads up the MediaLine.org. They are journalists, and they live here in the United States, and we've had him on the show before. He was on, I want to say, about a month or so ago before, and there's a lot going on in Jerusalem, and I want to, get caught up on everything as far as, all things happening over in the country of Jerusalem. We're going to fire up the band right now as we go to the top of the hour right here at WSTU Stuart, Martin County's Heritage Station. The news is coming up next, and then we'll on a Friday edition of the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. Don't go anywhere.
Coming to you live from Stuart, Florida, the greatest little town in the world, it's the award-winning, critically acclaimed Get Up and Go show on AM 1450 WSTU. You're invited to call the show anytime at 772-220-9788. And now, broadcasting live from their palatial studios, here are your hosts, Evan and Bonnie.
Well, thank you very much, Madam Announcer. It is March the 19th, 2021. Thank God it's Friday, without a doubt.
Anyone want to wake up early?
Well, they want to wake up early because we're the best damn thing going on a Friday.
God, this is going to be so yummy.
That's right. It's always going to be yummy.
If you want to feel funky, feel free.
That's right. If you want to feel funky, feel free. And just tune in the Get Up and Go show. Officially, it's 7:08. Mr. Clock, would you certify, please?
It's now 7:08 a.m.
That's right. Get funky like a monkey, as they say, Bonnie.
Yeah, and we have the energy to do it right now because everybody should, not be feeling so tired from the time change that we had last weekend. We should be over it right now.
Time change?
Jumping for joy that it's the weekend.
What time change? I don't remember a time change. I just still wake up the same time every morning.
Did you feel any effects from
Nothing.
when we had to
Nothing. Not a damn thing. How about
spring
you?
forward an hour? I didn't feel anything from it this time.
No.
I adjusted quite right.
The only thing I had to adjust was the timers. Because I have lights that go on around the perimeter of my pool area outside. So I had to adjust the timers for that. So this way they'd come on a little later because when it gets dark and then of course, they go off in the morning.
Was that like a big job adjusting those
it's just
timers?
I get up on a ladder and just turn the timer and click a few buttons, and I had to adjust the time on my alarm system at home. And that was really, that was it. And then my pool pump.
Yeah.
That was it. Pretty simple.
We have just 2 weeks away from Sunday till Easter Sunday.
Oh my gosh. Are you serious?
Easter's coming up a little bit later. Sometimes we have it in late March. This year happening in April, right? Right around April 4th, I believe.
You know what that just reminded me of too?
What?
That in 1 month from tomorrow, my youngest son is going to be officially an adult.
Really?
Yes.
So Gavin is turning 18?
Yes.
On
April 20th.
April 20th.
Now, when he was born on April 20th, in 2003, it was Easter Sunday back then.
Wow, that was a really late Easter then.
Yeah,
last
it was
year,
a late
that
Easter.
year, 2003.
He was born on 4/20. Think about that, 4/20. What a day to be born on.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, man. Give me a fat one, man. But yeah, he was born on 4/20. Thank God he's not a 4/20 kid, which is a good thing. Yeah, he's gonna be. It's kind of weird, I mean, it was kind of special when the other kids graduated high school and they all turned 18 and stuff like that. But this is like. He's the last one.
You got a graduation to attend to pretty soon.
Yeah.
That's coming up in May.
Yeah.
And is he going to be attending a prom? Is there any kind of prom thing going on?
Unfortunately, there's no prom. He just celebrated his 1-year anniversary with his girlfriend.
Wow.
So they're going out to Hokkaido. I think they're doing that tonight, as a matter of fact.
I'm
is it
jealous,
tonight? No, it's not tonight. He's doing it
incredible.
He's doing it on Sunday because he's got a busy day today. He's working at the stadium with me. He's running sound. And then from the stadium, he goes right to work at Publix.
And he just got back from worshiping too, didn't he?
Just got back from a church retreat up in Vero that they went to for 3 days. And he's like, Dad, I couldn't get enough of it. I wish it was longer.
Really?
Yeah.
So they didn't make him fast when he was there.
No.
Otherwise, he would have come home hungry and he would be glad to be gone.
No, but he did have to eat some kind of crap food, though.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. They made him eat. I don't know. I guess I forget what it was, but they blended up a Happy Meal in a blender. And he had to drink it.
That's gross.
And then he puked right afterwards.
That's just not right. Why did they do that for some kind of TikTok challenge?
It was a contest or I don't know what it was.
The kids might be putting it as
they were having fun. That's in the end of it, they're all worshiping the Lord. They're praising Jesus. And they're just having a good time.
But a Happy Meal sounds happy. And if I'm hungry enough, I might be happy to have that, but not all blended and mixed up.
Hey, listen,
like,
I don't
crushed
get
together and-
involved. He showed me the
Yikes.
video of him earling, and I was just like laughing my butt off.
Did they mix like
So
a chocolate
funny.
milkshake with it?
I don't
too?
know what the heck they put in that thing, but there was all sorts of crap in there.
Wow.
Jeez. Anyway, let's do some birthdays and anniversaries. The date is March 19, 2021, and if you were born on this day, we say happy birthday to you. Bonnie, what do you have for me today?
I don't really have anybody I know that's celebrating.
Nobody?
I couldn't find anyone.
Wow.
No.
Okay. All right.
It's true.
Usually you have somebody.
I know. It's
Wow.
well, me. I mean, it's my late birthday that we're celebrating this weekend.
Yeah,
so
and me too.
We are
I
going.
mean-
We're going to go to Carrabba's.
We're both celebrating late birthdays, as a matter of fact, this weekend.
both going out to eat and celebrating. Yeah, that belatedness of
Yeah,
it.
you're having your belated. I'm having my belated on Sunday. I'm going to Texas de Brazil.
Nice.
You're going to Carrabba's, and then we're both going to come in here on Monday, and they're going to have to widen the flipping door for
Yeah.
both of us to get in here.
We'll both have fluffy belly.
I'm telling you, we'll have the fluffy belly syndrome. But that's all right. You know what? It doesn't matter if we have the fluffy belly syndrome
Yeah. Then
because
I,
it'll be worth it in the end.
then I have till this July to take it off again when I go up toward the Knoxville and Pigeon Forge area.
Mhm. Have you figured out when you're going on vacation yet?
I mean, I have to get all the details. I'll let you know when it's, done.
Okay,
I'm
make sure you submit the official memo to me,
planning this
Carol,
summer.
Greg, George, Ray, the Spanish station, and all the other radio stations in the area because they all need
Yeah.
memos when you're going on vacation.
Everybody just got to know that I'm finally going to Dollywood.
Yes, they got to know that. And maybe we'll have you call in from Dollywood.
I will. I'd
That'd
be
be
glad
great.
to do that.
Yeah, kind of live remote from Dollywood.
We'll do that from the hotel maybe 2 one morning.
Okay,
while
that'd
we're
be great.
dipping in the pool.
Oh, live from the pool's even better. Birthdays and anniversaries. Eduardo Saverin is 39 years old today. That's the guy who helped create Facebook, then got shut up by Mark Zuckerberg, at least according to the social network. But don't worry about poor Eduardo. He's worth about $15.4 billion with a B as in Bravo. $15.4 billion.
Oh
Bonnie.
boy, he already had something going, didn't
Mhm.
he?
Yep. Andy Reid, the head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs, is 63 years old today. Bruce Willis is 66. Andy Reid, by the way, in all the games that the coaches had to wear masks or whatever, he wore this clear face shield for every game. They put that face shield in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, as they should. The
NFL Football Hall of Fame.
Chiefs have been doing so well.
Mhm.
Andy should be really proud of his players.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. Bruce Willis, 66 years old today, Bonnie.
I like Bruce.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, nobody can sport that bald head like he had.
You ever seen him with his shirt off? Because I know you were talking about people with their shirts
Oh.
off earlier.
I probably have, like in Die. I'm sure I saw it in Die Hard or something.
How about Google Bruce Willis shirtless and
Oh.
see what comes up?
It's not like I need to or anything, but okay. Okay.
Why not? What the heck, right? I just want to see your facial expression when you find it. That's all.
I never really look at his bod. I just I get lost like in his amazing blue eyes.
Okay.
Let's see here.
All right.
Let's
see what you get. Tell me what you get
Bruce
there.
Willis shirtless.
Shirtless. Bruce
Okay.
Willis shirtless. Tell me what you get.
And Bonnie is very shameless. Wow. Yeah.
Wow, that
Oh.
just one word just said it all. Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting.
There. Oh my God, that's great. Oh, hello, Bruce. Bonnie likes that.
That's
Okay.
funny.
It just made your Friday, didn't it?
Yeah. He is quite an attractive.
There you go. He's a
kind of
good looking guy.
He is.
He's a good looking guy.
Yeah.
Derek Longmuir is 70 years old today. Do you have any idea who Derek Longmuir is?
Longmuir. Let's
Mhm.
see. That
Not
name,
Short Muir, Longmuir.
That name sounds a little bit on the French side with
Yeah.
that Muir going.
Mhm.
I'm
He
not
is
sure.
from the Bay City Rollers. SATURDAY. Hey,
I'm saying French, and he's from Michigan.
Yeah.
He's from like Bay City, Michigan.
I don't know. The Bay City Rollers were, I think, a Scottish or something kind of group. I'm not
think
sure.
they were out of Bay City, Michigan.
Were they
Evan.
really? Okay,
Yeah. But
okay.
how old is he today?
He's 70.
No kidding, huh?
They were the one hit. They were a one hit wonder band, weren't they?
Uh,
Because all they ever had was Saturday night.
it's a Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Hey,
Did they have one other slow love ballad? Let's
I don't
see.
know.
I gotta look that one up too.
that's like the group Pilot. Remember the group Pilot? They did that song, Oh, 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 it's magic.
Yeah, but that,
Right?
but boy, that was the song to top
Right.
all songs. I used to
Right.
love that when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I
How about the
still
DeFranco
do.
family? That's another one-hit wonder.
I'm-
A heartbeat is a love beat. I'm nailing all these one-hit wonder groups.
Yeah. Oh, the Bay City Rollers also
Mhm.
did I Only Want to Be With You.
Oh yeah, that's right. I only want to be with you.
And that was a pretty big
Yeah,
hit
that was a
too,
good song.
1976.
Yep. Harvey Weinstein, 69 years old today. He's
In
currently
prison, huh?
he's serving 23 years
Wow.
for criminal sexual conduct and third-degree rape. Glenn Close is 74. I have no idea who Glenn Close is.
Glenn Close, she was in Fatal Attraction with Michael Douglas.
Okay.
And she was the really obsessed woman in Fatal Attraction.
Okay.
And I think she played Cruel Eldeville too at
Cruella
one time
DeVille,
in
yep.
101 Dalmatians.
Okay.
She played that part.
All right.
Yep, she's a very good actress.
Ruth Pointer from the Pointer Sisters, 75 years old today. Some of their hits were Fire, He's So Shy, Slow Hand, Jump for My Love, Automatic, Neutron Dance, and I'm So Excited.
You know who wrote Fire, don't you?
No, who wrote that?
Bruce Springsteen wrote
Did he
that
really?
song.
Wow,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And I think I heard him cover it one time too. I heard him perform it one time too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't believe I get E Street. It's called, there's a station on my XM radio called
Mhm. Oh, the E Street channel. Yeah. How are you enjoying that, by the way?
I'm loving it.
Have you been channel surfing all over the place?
Yes, I have.
Did you lock in any channels like I told you to? Or like I explained to you to?
The only one, well, the ones that are locked in are the one that came the way, and I think it's Fox News is one of them.
Okay.
You know, and I think
Okay.
I've got 80s on the 8 or
Okay.
something in
Did
another
you find
one.
Yacht Rock?
I didn't find that yet.
Okay. If you Google where is Yacht Rock on Sirius XM,
Yeah.
and it'll give you the channel number, and you'll be all good to go.
And I came across Ozzy's Boneyard.
Oh, that ought to be interesting. Music.
And I actually don't mind the station that's it's like a heavy metal thrashing one.
Uh-huh.
It's not the heaviest one on there, but it's kind of like one that's in the middle. I can't remember what it's called, but it's got some good heavy metal stuff going on.
I could imagine you driving down the road, going like this, just like this, listening to heavy metal, just banging your head up and down.
Oh, there's a question. Okay, so we usually go to DeLand around St. Patty's Day. I know it's past,
Right,
but we
that's all
like
right.
to hear Irish music.
Uh-huh.
Is there an Irish music channel on there?
I don't think there is, to be
Oh,
honest with you.
I'm
I
too
don't
late
think
on
there
it then,
is.
because
Yeah.
I bet I'm not going to be able to find the Irish jig. I don't. I'll have to look into it.
I don't think there's ever been an Irish channel
All right.
on Sirius XM.
Oh, there is one though. It's the U2 channel because
Oh.
U2 they're from Ireland. You know.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
I can't believe they actually have a U2 station, a Tom Petty station.
Well, here you go.
That's
I'll
what we need.
I'll just give you this cut, and you could play it on repeat over and over as you're going down the highway. Bust out a green beer. There you go.
Open my little sunroof.
Right, open the sunroof.
We'll have the magic going.
There you go. So there's your Irish jig music to get you by, Bonnie.
I love that.
I thought you'd
I
like
wish
that.
I had that in
Wait, I
my.
have another one here. Hold on, let me see here. There you go.
Oh, that's a happy one, you know.
Right? Oh God, don't get up and start dancing around the studio now. See? There you go.
My hands on my waist.
See, if Gary Owen was in here, he'd have his kilt on and he'd be dancing all over the place.
He would be.
That's for sure.
That would be cute.
Yeah, definitely so, without a doubt. That's a sight I would not want to see, though. Oh, man. It is 7:21 on the Friday edition of the Get Up and Go Show. It's time for news. Let's go to the news desk where Bonnie's standing by with the headlines this morning. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. A Fort Pierce family is now left without a home after an accidental fire sparked on Wednesday night, and WPTV's Derek Lowe reports.
Inside this home in the Spanish Lakes community,
I got here within 4 minutes, and the house was engulfed.
nothing is able to be saved.
I was at work, and my sister was next door. And she just told me she has my husband and my house is on fire. It's burning to the ground.
Leslie Seibert says her roommate was asleep when her 92-year-old husband was in the back welding on a bike. A lifelong auto and bike mechanic who his wife says has dementia and is partially blind.
Sparks flew and hit the carpet. And I guess he panicked and he froze.
Now in the hospital with third-degree burns, Leslie's husband was able to crawl to the front and was dragged out of the burning home by the roommate. 3 pets did not survive in the flames.
It was out of control. Like a matchbook.
Frank Darmiento lives in the community.
It's sad the homeowner doesn't have any coverage, and I try to get insurance and they just won't insure you. It's hard to get insurance on these mobile homes.
Now left with nothing for a third time, Leslie says she has previously had to rebuild after hurricanes.
There's no assistance, like, can you just give me a temporary place to lay my head? I slept in my truck last night because I couldn't get any assistance.
The fire district tells me that they are assisting, and Leslie says that she's also receiving some temporary help from the American Red Cross. Reporting in Fort Pierce, I'm Derek Lowe, WPTV, News Channel 5.
Florida once again leads in pedestrian deaths. WPTV's Todd Wilson has this story.
Nick Panayotto and his wife get out on a walk on a regular basis. The former New Yorker says he feels relatively safe while out for some exercise.
After being here in Florida for 4 years, Florida drivers generally are more courteous than New York drivers.
Well, according to Smart Growth America and the National Complete Streets Coalition, Florida ranks worst in the nation for pedestrian danger between 2010 and 2019.
Well, the statistics speak for themselves. I have to go by that.
The report says most streets are inherently dangerous because of how they're designed, with wide lanes, a lack of high visibility crosswalks, and long distances between intersections. Boca Raton City Councilman Andy Thompson says work is needed to create a safer environment.
It's like pedestrians who don't have the benefit of a ton of steel surrounding them, or bicyclists, same way, or joggers. And so now the emphasis is more on making these roadway networks safer for everybody.
He says safe designs include narrower travel lanes and in-road lights, like this one in Tampa, can help illuminate crosswalks. Over the past decade, Boca has set their sights on having complete streets.
Which means trying to draw down the speed of the cars, having a buffer between a sidewalk and the traffic, having separated bike lanes so that the bicyclists feel safe riding out there on the road.
Nick says while improvements are needed, he's glad to see a city making the effort for safer streets. In Boca Raton, Todd Wilson, WPTV.
From the Magic City to Sin City for Miami Mayor Francis Suarez, he was in Las Vegas yesterday touring Elon Musk's Boring Company tunnels to see if it's possible to build a similar one under the Brickell Avenue Bridge. He says it's a win-win for the entire city.
For our residents who are looking for relief, this is something that can be done relatively quickly, inexpensively, and could be a big solution to some of our traffic headaches. And it's also environmentally sound.
Miami-Dade Transit officials estimate a $900 million price tag for a 2-mile tunnel under the river that would take about 4 years to build. Musk says he can do it for $30 million in as little as 6 months. A West Rental property owner is in custody accused of video voyeurism of 4 female tenants. The landlord, 61-year-old Stephen Fair, is accused of hiding cameras in his rental space, threatening to release intimate footage from those cameras and stalking his tenants even after they moved out. Lastly, the Oscars are a month away, and the Academy is telling nominees that if they're not comfortable attending the ceremony in person, well, tough luck. They will not be allowed to Zoom into the show. The producer sent out an email that details their plan for a carefree, intimate, in-person event at Union Station in LA. The Academy says that the only people attending will be the nominees, their guests, and the presenters. And they made sure to point out that even though we are still in a pandemic, casual attire is not welcome. We will not be wearing our flip-flops to the Oscars, Evan. Matt Jones tied the course record at PGA National in the first round of the Honda Classic on Thursday with a 9 under par under 61. Brian Harmon shot a 61 at PGA National in the second round of the 2012 Honda Classic. Tiger Woods shot a 62 in the final round of that same year. Until Thursday, they were the only rounds of 8 under or better since the event moved to PGA National 15 years ago. Jones, an Australian ranked number 83 in the world, was flawless with 9 birdies and no bogeys. News time is 7:27. We'll have weather and traffic together next.
Time now is 7:28 on the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together. It's all brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
Well, we don't have any tie-ups on our roadways. We don't have any accidents to report in Stuart this morning. Port St. Lucie, too, the roads are looking fine. Getting on your main on US 1, everything running smoothly. There's your latest look at traffic. Right now it's 71 in Palm City. In Lee's Summit, Missouri, a clear sky and 36. Here's our weekend weather at WPTV.
Happy Friday, sunshines. A few showers to start off your Friday morning. Then we'll see clearing conditions throughout the afternoon with more sunshine by the part of the day. Afternoon highs in the upper 70s to low 80s with winds out of the north-northwest around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, a chilly night on tap. We'll see temperatures down to the mid-50s under mostly clear skies. Tomorrow, highs in the mid to upper 70s. Some isolated showers possible for both Saturday and Sunday, slowly warming up by the middle of next week. I'm WPTV First Alert Meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
You're listening to the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie on Martin County's Heritage Station, AM 1450 WSTU. Now let's get back to the program with Evan and Bonnie.
This is not headline news. A new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie is in the works about Leatherface as an old man. Instead of sawing people in half, he tries to sell them reverse mortgages. Gwen Stefani asked Ellen to be her maid of honor. Ellen was so happy, said the employees allowed to make eye contact with her. Chimpanzees from different zoos are connecting over Zoom. Zooming, which zookeepers say is great for the chimps. Not so much for the employees that have to clean the dookie off the screen. And March Madness has started, or as Kanye West calls it, March. This is not headline news.
From not headline news, we go to stupid news.
And now it's time for Stupid News,
It's so stupid and awesome.
where we ask the important questions.
Are some people too stupid to live?
Why are people so stupid? Are you effing stupid? All right, so we're going to go over on the other coast of Florida, Bonnie, this morning. We're going to start over in Fort Myers, Florida, where there's a 21-year-old guy who is facing charges after he went into his neighbor's yard and started jumping on their trampoline.
Did he now?
Yeah, but here's the catch. He started jumping on the trampoline naked.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Naked.
Yeah.
He knocked on their door the other day in his birthday suit, and a woman inside asked if he needed help, but he said no, and he left. Then 30 minutes later, she looked out her rear window and saw him again, still naked, jumping up and down on her kid's trampoline.
Yeah, and I was going to say, gee, a trampoline in the backyard. They might have kids. Hello.
Yeah, it's not clear now if the guy was on drugs, but she finally called the police when she realized he was also fondling himself on the trampoline while he was jumping.
Wow. That's
Now, he
just
eventually
so wrong.
got off the trampoline, ran up to the door and told her to let him in. And when she didn't, he smashed out the window at the front door. So she grabbed her kids, locked herself in the car
How terrifying.
until the police arrived.
Right?
He's facing charges for burglary and
Oh.
criminal mischief.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that had to be a terrifying time for that lady.
Yeah.
Oh.
I would say so. Let's go to North Kingston, Rhode Island. Okay, where somebody ordered a delivery from Whole Foods last week through Amazon Prime. Now, after he got a notification from his Ring doorbell camera when the delivery driver was dropping off his stuff, he clicked over to the video and he saw the delivery driver peeing all over his groceries.
You got to be kidding me.
I'm dead serious.
That's disgusting.
The guy says he called Amazon and they wound up offering to send a cleaning crew to the house, and they also gave him $100 credit.
Don't they have big enough snowbanks in Rhode Island for him to pee in there instead of peeing on somebody's package? What in the world?
Now, the Amazon spokesperson said this individual is no longer delivering Amazon packages, and the police say they are investigating the matter.
I think they should do some investigating.
That kind of makes me a little leery about ordering food from Amazon now. Think about it.
Yeah, like maybe they'll have a copycat.
I don't know. I don't know.
A copycat going to hear
Oof.
that story and
Oh, man.
oh, that looks like something I would do.
Yeah, don't pee on
No.
my package, please. A Missouri woman arrested last month on drug and weapons charges had a small revolver hidden in a body cavity that went undetected during a strip search and 2 pat-downs, the police reported.
Really?
Yes, the 4-inch 22 caliber firearm was discovered the other day by personnel at the Boone County Jail. Now, the weapon was found among the personal items belongings of Amy Natasha Willite, 39 years old, who was booked into the facility last week following her arrest by the Columbia Police Department. Now, she was charged with possession of methamphetamine, resisting arrest, unlawful possession of a firearm, and possession of drug paraphernalia. She was also booked for failing to appear in court in connection to prior callers for for domestic assault and drunk driving.
Mm.
My question is, how the heck do you hide a 4-inch 22 caliber firearm
Yeah.
in your body cavity?
And that actually got in the jail with her then?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
She hid it in her body cavity.
How did they not find that?
Think about
right?
that. Ooh.
Wait, her body cavity?
Yeah, like up inside her.
Oh.
Like up inside her.
I didn't even know what you were talking about until now.
Up inside her.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
How did she pull that off? I
or
mean,
pull it out, or could you imagine if that thing would have accidentally went off inside
Right?
of her?
hope she had the safety on. I don't know if she's smart enough to think about, before inserting that.
let me insert this 22 caliber rifle, or let me insert this 22 caliber gun inside of me. But wait a minute, let me check and make sure the safety's on. Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a good one. Deputies and fire personnel responded to a report of a man trapped under a hay bale at about 5 o'clock in the morning last Monday. This is according to the Franklin County Sheriff's Office.
Could you imagine being
Sure.
stuck under that?
I know,
feeling
right?
itchy now.
So the sheriff's office said deputies found a 50-year-old local guy trapped under a bale of hay that weighs about 1,500 pounds.
Yikes.
They were able to dig the man out, and he was flown to a local hospital. The owner of the hay bale told authorities that the man did not have permission to be on the property and had not bought the hay at all either. So the Franklin County Sheriff's Office said they are investigating the matter. So the guy was basically, I guess he was probably trying to steal the bale of hay, and it tipped over on him, and he got stuck.
Trapped under
Could
it.
you imagine being buried under 1,500 pounds of hay?
I couldn't even imagine that. Have you ever been in an actual hay barn before?
Hey.
It's like my girlfriend her uncle had a farm, and we would hang out at that sometime, and you go in the silo, man.
Yeah.
And it would be full of hay sometime.
Ooh,
and
man, that's
just
brutal.
Makes me
Yeah, my
start
leg's
to feel
itching right
itchy.
now. Sorry.
Yes.
I'm itching right now. A 24-year-old man from Nokomis was arrested Sunday morning after speeding through a barricaded crash scene, nearly hitting 6 deputies and saying he has business at the Ritz-Carlton.
Oh.
Okay, now the deputies were on the scene of the scene of a serious crash involving a downed power line at Tamiami Trail and Holiday Drive down in the Keys just before 11 o'clock at night the other evening, and had traffic cones detouring traffic away from the site. Okay, now Joshua Galkman, driving a BMW and sporting only one sock, a pair of boxers, and an undershirt, came barreling through the crash site, nearly hitting the 6 deputies and dragging a traffic cone under the car.
Oh, gee.
Now, all deputies said they had to jump out of the way of the car that was estimated to be going 100 miles an hour.
Yikes. That would be maybe on that 2-lane we were talking about in the Keys.
Yep.
Oh,
Deputies
my.
say they arrested the 24-year-old and found cocaine, a rolled-up dollar bill, a marijuana grinder, and a hash oil vaporizer all in the vehicle.
Probably high as a kite, too, on that cocaine, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Man.
For
Oh,
sure.
my gosh.
Let's go to Australia, where an Australian couple went viral, and not in a good way, for their tacky wedding invitation. Bonnie, you're gonna like this one.
Okay.
They were called greedy for enclosing a terrible poem encouraging guests to take out $100 to present to them on their wedding day. A photo of the invitation was uploaded to Facebook, and the reactions were not pretty.
Oh.
The poem read, quote, "Our bank account is in debt, and we would like it to go back into credit. Please visit the ATM. We know you're a gem. Pull out your greens and let it be that your kindness is real when it's given its final seal.
Okay.
So place your cash in our wishing well and make our dreams come true. That will be swell."
Okay. All right. Well,
That is tackiness at its best.
I guess it's a little tacky, but at least
Asking for money for your wedding?
Well, you know what, they did it sort of creative, and they did
Yeah.
put some thought in, and they took some time with coming up with
There
that.
is creativity, but the nerve to ask your guests to just give cash
And $100
and
at that.
$100 at that. Wow.
Of course, isn't that the usual now that they're giving? Maybe
There's no usual really.
Yeah. And I think it depends on the region too that they're in.
I mean, you usually go to a gift registry or something like that. You go to like Bed Bath and Beyond. Usually the bride and the groom, they'll tell you where they registered. And then you go there and then it'll bring up a list of the items that people did not buy yet.
Yeah, and there are like some that just don't want to take the time to do it, and then they'll just give them cash, which is always welcome.
Now,
I'm sure.
I'll just throw money in an envelope if I'm invited to somebody's wedding. I'll just throw some cash in an envelope.
Yeah.
Or maybe even go to the bank and buy a savings bond.
Oh, that's a good idea too, right?
Yep, exactly. Metro Nashville police responded to a call about a man asleep behind the wheel of a silver sedan sitting in the middle of traffic. Okay, they found a 51-year-old guy by the name of Thomas Courtney. When officers asked him where he thought he was, he told them he thought he was in bed.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. They eventually
Whoa.
got Mr. Courtney out of the vehicle, noting that he had bloodshot eyes, watery eyes, glassy eyes, and he reeked of alcohol. Reeked of alcohol.
Yep,
Plus, he was slurring his speech and staggering when he was walking.
So he's in the middle of that in Nashville where it can be pretty busy.
Yep.
And he thought he was home sleeping, napping.
Yep. Thomas Courtney was charged with DUI 3rd degree and driving on a revoked license. He is free on a $9,000 bond with multiple pending court dates across the county.
He probably won't be getting any sleep after that.
Right you are, young Skywalker, without a doubt. And that is your stupid news for March the 19th, 2021. And from stupid news, we go to the real stuff. It's all brought to you by our good friends at St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin for the best deal on precious metals of any kind. Make sure and go visit our good friend Hawk Levy at St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin with locations all across the Treasure Coast. Let's go to the news desk where Bonnie is standing by. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. A controversial project to build 3 major highways in Florida is being met with opposition by some in the state Senate. WPTV's Capitol reporter Forrest Saunders has details.
I'm Forrest Saunders at the Capitol. A pandemic and budget shortfall have lawmakers second-guessing a plan to build 3 new toll roads in the state. Thursday afternoon, members advanced a bill repealing and defunding the controversial MCORS project, sending that bill to the Senate floor. Senator Gail Harrell thinks Florida no longer needs the MCORS project, which aims to expand the Suncoast Parkway north, Florida's Turnpike west, and create a new corridor through rural South Central land.
You can't not build roads. The question is, where do you build them? How you build them? Are they financially feasible?
Her bill, SB 100, would repeal and defund MCORS, and though it still allows for a road north to Georgia, it directs most of its attention to bolstering existing roads. Specifically, the bill aims to address congestion on I-75 and improve rural 2-lane roads to accommodate commercial trucks.
CS for SB 100 is reported favorably.
The bill received bipartisan support in committee, nearly every member in favor, though a few Democrats held back.
I take no joy in voting no.
Senator Gary Farmer wanting better protection for the environment and impacted communities.
Sometimes if we all vote yes, maybe we lose momentum on how we can, still improve a bill.
Though SB 100 continues to make strides in the Senate, nothing close to it has gotten traction in the House. The governor has also asked for $700 million to fund MCORS in the coming fiscal year, suggesting he may still be a fan. Despite those challenges, Harrell seemed confident her bill is destined for approval, saying it's all part of the negotiation process. That's the latest out here at the Capitol. I'm Forrest Saunders reporting.
For many businesses in downtown Stuart, their daily routine will never be the same. WPTV's Ryan Hughes has more.
On the streets of downtown Stuart and inside the stores, a rare form of kindness is now missing.
Just today's world, it would be so nice to see other people take some of that.
A stack of mail sits on the counter inside Gumbo Limbo, but that daily delivery is just not the same.
Door would open, whatever time of day he was coming with the mail, and he would say, "Honey, I'm home." And not just in a low tone. He would walk through the front door and yell it so everybody in the store.
Patty O'Connell says Calvin Berry was so much more than her mailman over the years. He was like family.
Came through the door without having something great to say.
And when he walked through April Day's boutique around the corner,
He came in here every day and talked to us. You know, he didn't just come in and drop the mail. We became friends, and we loved Calvin.
but the 58-year-old went missing last week. One day later, his body found in a canal in Port St. Lucie. When word spread through these businesses,
Well, we were shocked first in it, and we just prayed that obviously it wouldn't turn out as it did. There's a big void here.
He made an impact.
Gumbo Limbo and April Days posting tributes on Instagram to Calvin's family.
I'll miss him. He's definitely an angel, that's for sure.
Now, every time the mail truck drives past, these merchants say they will always remember his smile, striking personality, and sweet soul.
Police say there's no evidence to suggest foul play, but the case remains active. Merchants downtown are still brainstorming ideas on how to honor Calvin. In downtown Stewart, Ryan Hughes, WPTV, News Channel 5.
In Martin County, the $1.3 million Jensen Beach mooring field on the Indian River Lagoon finally will be open to the public tomorrow, county officials. The 56 mooring units, which allows boaters to secure their vessels to buoys attached to permanent anchors, will be available on a first-come, first-served basis. Martha Ann Kness said the 24-hour mooring field on the Northeast Causeway Boulevard off the Jensen Beach Causeway will accommodate vessels up to 50 feet. The Honda Classic couldn't happen without the help of nearly 1,200 volunteers who donate hours of time to make the tournament run smoothly and give guests the best possible experience. One volunteer has spent years going the extra mile to make the PGA Tour event extra special for the youngest golf fans. That's why Tom Gibbs, that is, age 75, was awarded Volunteer of the Year after tournament organizers felt his good heart deserved special recognition. Gibbs can often be found staking his claim in the shadiest spot by the 11th hole, stepping out when it's time to silence the crowd. He gets a great view of the players, but the best part, he said, is being in the mix with the fans, especially the youngest ones. New Colts quarterback Carson Wentz felt that the beginning of the end of his 5-year career with the Philadelphia Eagles came when he was benched in their Week 13 game against the Green Bay Packers last season. Wentz didn't play another snap with the Eagles, and 2 months later, he was traded to the Colts for a third-round pick in this year's draft and a conditional second-round pick in the 2022 draft. He hopes he can regain the form in Indianapolis that made him an MVP candidate. News Time 7:50. We'll have weather and traffic together next.
Time now is 7:51 on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together, all brought to you by Waterway Dermatology. Dr. Ryan Schuring, located at 1050 Monterey Road in Stewart, bringing personalized healthcare back to dermatology, the Waterway. Bonnie?
And Friday morning out on the roads, we're not finding any accidents to report. Looking good in the Hope Sound area, Palm City too, Port St. Lucie right now. No accidents on our beautiful Treasure Coast. There's your latest look at traffic. 72, it's cloudy in Stewart this morning, and in Malahide, Ireland, a cloudy 49. Here's our weekend weather at WPTV.
Happy Friday, sunshines. A few showers to start off your Friday morning. Then we'll see clearing conditions throughout the afternoon with more sunshine by the middle part of the day. Afternoon highs in the upper 70s to low 80s with winds out of the north-northwest around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, a chilly night on tap. We'll see temperatures down to the mid-50s under mostly clear skies. Tomorrow, highs in the mid to upper 70s. Some isolated showers possible for both Saturday and Sunday, slowly warming up by the middle of next week. I'm WPTV First Alert Meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
If you have a suggestion, we'd love to hear from you. Send us an email to WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. Now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
Time now is 7:57 on the Get Up and Go show. Coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, through all the traffic over in Israel and Jerusalem. Michael Friedson's going to be here, Bonnie. We've interviewed him before.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to find out what's happening, halfway around the world with Michael.
Yeah, without a doubt, it's going to be really good. They are journalists over in Jerusalem, him and his wife, Felice Friedson. So they'll be joining us in the 8 o'clock hour. And then, of course, we are going right back to the ball field today, Bonnie, because the New York Mets are in action again.
Yeah, I heard they lost to the Nationals by a couple of runs yesterday.
Yeah, it wasn't too pretty yesterday.
Do they play the Washington Nationals once again?
Nope, I don't know who they play today. It's some team.
Oh,
I don't keep track of the team. I just show up.
Does it really matter because it's like only spring training yet? Is anybody really hard up? I mean, just really following these games intensely? Not like they would in normal season, right? Let's see.
Not at all.
New York Mets play
do they play
today. They play today. And let's say they on.
Who do they take on?
It's not telling me. Boy, I was able to bring this up on Google just the other day. Yeah. Let me go to their schedule.
Go to the schedule. The schedule.
The schedule. And
the schedule.
Maybe we'll find
this out. Who are they playing today? Tell me who they're playing today.
Okay. Let's see. Today. It is not showing me.
Okay. Well, I think it could be. Let me see. Who did we play yesterday?
They played the Houston Astros now earlier in the week.
Right.
So I don't think they would be playing them again.
You think I know these things because I work for the Mets.
I know, right?
I couldn't tell you what I was doing an hour ago, but I need to be very honest with you. But I can tell you that we're WSTU Stewart, Martin County's Heritage Station. The news is coming up next. And then the one and only Michael Friedson's going to be here. So hopefully he'll definitely be joining us. Anyway, don't you dare go anywhere. Don't even touch that dial. And sit back, relax, and enjoy yourselves. And enjoy our company as we give you hour number 3 of the show.
Oh, wait a minute, Evan. I think I'm about to find it. I'm upon it. They
Hurry.
play the Cardinals today at 1:10.
All right,
time.
it's the Cardinals, the St. Louis Cardinals. Bonnie, you're awesome. I love you.
Finally, its schedule finally came up.
Yes.
Sometimes Google is slow.
All right, we'll be back. Don't go anywhere.
Coming to you live from Stuart, Florida, the greatest little town in the world. It's the award-winning, critically acclaimed Get Up and Go show on AM 1450 WSTU. You're invited to call the show anytime at 772-220-9788. And now, broadcasting live from their palatial studios, here are your hosts, Evan and Bonnie.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Announcer. It is March the 19th, 2021. As the announcer said, the critically acclaimed Get Up and Go
Good day,
show.
mate. Let's put another shrimp on the barbie.
We'll put another shrimp on the barbie for you.
Thank God it's TGIF.
That's right, TGIF.
What do you want to do today?
Well, let's see. What do I want to do today? Well, first and foremost, I want to tell you what time it is. It is 8:08 on the program. Mr. Clock, would you please certify that?
It's now 8:08 a.m.
Thank you very much, Mr. Clock. And joining us right now on our line, all the way from halfway around the world, from Israel and Jerusalem, our good friend, and he's a journalist along with his lovely wife, Elise. Michael Friedson is joining us right now on our line. Michael, how are you? Good morning.
Very well, thank you. Everything is festive. I just came back from the center of town in Jerusalem. It's about 72, 73 degrees, bright sunshine. For the first time in a year, the throngs are back in the streets. The stores are opening. Restaurants are experiencing a new phenomenon where people actually come in and sit at a table and eat something.
Wow.
It's all kinds of excitement here.
That's crazy, Bonnie. They've been on lockdown for like the last year over there, Bonnie.
Yeah, and when he mentioned the restaurants too, it just makes
Yeah.
it reminds me of a lot of the restaurants, even around here,
Uh-huh.
the ones that have been closed down and people not being able to work. So over where you are, sir, you're gradually getting those restaurants reopened too.
Yeah, we had a real tough multiple lockdowns, but they were no nonsense, and everything pretty much shut down. Even I describe a festive atmosphere, but yet walking down the main street of Jerusalem, store after store is closed as well. Some are open and garnering the attention, but if you look between the storefronts, so many of them that have been there for God as long as I can remember. The first time I walked those streets was in, and
What is like stores and restaurants to be opened? I was talking to a guy last night that had been in not Jerusalem, but like in another country, and he was saying like where their weekend, they do the weekends over there like on maybe Wednesday and Thursday rather like than we do here, like Saturday and Sunday. How does that go? When is your weekend over there, and when are the businesses really booming?
well, the businesses have to boom during the week. There's no such thing really. They call it a weekend, but it's Friday. Many businesses are closed. Saturday is the Jewish Sabbath, so things are pretty well shut down.
Mm-hmm.
But the worst part of it is Sunday is an absolute work day, a regular nondescript work day.
Really?
So, so if you're going out on a Saturday night, you start watching your clock to see how late you're going to get home and go to bed because you got to work the next morning.
That's amazing. So so your work week starts on a Sunday over there.
That's right. It's basically Sunday to Friday, and different kind of businesses have different ways they do it.
Right.
But the society is on a Sunday to Friday basis.
Now, talk to me about the pandemic over there. Catch us up and give us an update. How are things over in Jerusalem right now as far as the pandemic? How are the numbers and everything?
Numbers are coming down significantly.
Mm-hmm.
Israel is way ahead of everybody else in the world in terms of getting their people vaccinated and doing so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
It cost them a lot to do it, but they had cooperation of the drug companies because Israel is a tightly encapsulated test market of 9 to 10 million people for the drug companies. So when all of this began, the first real-time testing was the data that the health associations, the HMOs, there are 4 of them in Israel. Everybody belongs to one of them. They have data that other countries don't have. So that data was incredibly valuable to the drug companies. So they were able to put that in addition to the cash they were paying for the vaccines.
Mm-hmm.
And Israel came out with the vaccines first on the spot and really did a magnificent job in orchestrating the vaccinating of the population. I went through it. It was amazing how it went, how smoothly it went, how well organized it went.
Mhm.
And now,
So you've been vaccinated.
yes, I had both vaccines. It's more than a month already that I've had both.
Okay, so you did the 2-shot. Which one did you do? Did you do the Pfizer or the Moderna?
Pfizer.
You did the Pfizer. Okay, and after the first shot, did you have any reactions at all?
None at all. I had no reaction in either shot.
Okay, except did you have a sore arm? Of course.
No.
No
Not
sore
really.
arm at all. Wow. Okay, and what about after
No,
the second
at,
shot?
at the injection site, it was a little spotty,
Right.
but no more than any other kind of shot. Certainly no different than when I got a flu shot every year.
Okay. Now, what about after the second vaccination? Any fever?
Nothing
Anything
at
like
all.
that? Nothing.
Nothing.
Wow.
Nothing at all.
Okay, that's good to hear. That's very good to hear. Now, the Moderna is available over there. Now, what about I'm sorry, the Pfizer? What about Moderna? Is Moderna available also over there?
They have Moderna, but they didn't have to use it. Israel's using the vaccines for foreign relations purposes.
Mhm.
They're helping out neighbors. They're rewarding countries that have been politically and diplomatically good to Israel.
Mhm.
It's become somewhat of a currency.
Okay.
And of course, there's some political flack for that. But the other part of it is, we're coming up on an election, the fourth election in 2
I
years.
heard the news that there's some like dirty pool going on over there with the election going on with Benjamin Netanyahu.
Well, a lot of accusations are being made that
Right.
that the prime minister looking for re-election has been using the pandemic to his advantage.
Right.
Two basic reactions. Part of the country says, so what? It worked. And the other part of the country says, no, you're not supposed to do that. That's cheaty pool. But most people are very happy about the fact that the numbers are so much in the favor. As a matter of fact, on Thursday, one of the biggest hospitals in the country, the Ichilov Hospital in Tel Aviv,
Mhm.
which had the first all corona ward set up back at the beginning of the pandemic,
Mhm.
closed it. They don't need it anymore. It's now.
It's amazing.
Didn't you say like the last time we spoke with you of a year over there or something like
No,
that?
there's what happened is there's 4 elections. We're coming on the 4th election in a 2-year period.
Okay.
The term of office is 4 years, but this is a parliamentary democracy in which if there's a no confidence measure or if certain things happen, it triggers a collapse of the government at any time.
Mhm.
You don't have to wait out the 4-year term. In this case, the budget was not agreed upon. They couldn't pass the budget. So by statute, the government falls and new elections are held. The fact that it's a 4th in 2 years is unprecedented, and most people are not very happy about it. The problem is that, let me just a quick background, just to remind you that in Israel, the minister is not voted for.
Okay.
You don't vote for a man or a woman, you vote for a party. The prime minister will be the head of the party that gets the most number of seats in the parliament of 120, meaning he has to somehow come to get 6. He's not going to do it, or she's not going to do it with one party, so they have to have a coalition. And keeping those coalitions together are very, very difficult. So they keep falling, and the numbers really should predict, if you want to be somewhat optimistic, but really the numbers tell us we can expect a 5th election.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, the person that he's running up against, are there several people he's running up against? Is he running up against anybody?
When last we spoke, he was running up against someone whose party is now barely polling enough in the polls to sustain itself in the parliament. And now there's a new set of people that are being touted as the people that could knock him off.
Mhm.
The prime minister insists he has the 61 in his pocket and he's not going anywhere, but nobody else in the country seems to be able to come up with that number. It puts his party and their friends at about 55 votes,
Mhm.
55 seats, and opposition a little less than that. So the question is any party going to cave in and form an alliance that has not been expected? And if so, will it still be enough seats to form a coalition or not?
Now, the term that the prime minister sits on is for 4 years. How many times can he be reelected? Is it just twice, like here, or can he go more than twice?
After Mr. Netanyahu finally leaves office, the first order of business, according to most politicians, is going to be term limits. He's been in office since 2009. He served 2 years of a different term prior to that. Last year, he surpassed the legendary David Ben-Gurion as the longest serving prime minister in the country.
Wow. That's a lot. That's a long time,
Since
Bonnie.
2009.
Wow. That's 9, 19, 20, 21. That's 12 years.
A lot of years in power.
That's 3 terms.
Yeah, well, next door in the Palestinian areas, Mahmoud Abbas is also running for re-election. He's serving now in the 15th year of his 4-year term.
Oh my gosh.
Mm.
Wow.
Do you think he'll be unseated?
Probably. There's a youth movement they've never seen before.
Mm-hmm.
And if the Palestinian young people are finally taking not just to the streets, but to the voting booths, it's very possible they're.
Now, what is your humble opinion about Benjamin Netanyahu as far as him going another 4 years? Do you think it'll happen, or do you think he may be unseated?
Well, in the typical Middle East answer, yes. If there's any politician that could survive the amazing pressure that he is under, he's the guy that could do it.
Right.
The real question is, could anybody survive what he's going through?
Right.
And look at, he's standing up before the public night after night saying, I gave you the vaccination. I vaccinated you.
Mm-hmm.
I created a peace between 4 Arab countries this year, and Israel never happened before.
Mm-hmm.
I got the Americans to move the embassy to Americans to recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. I. And if you want these things to continue, and by the way, I have 4 more Arab countries lined up to recognize us, but you just got to elect me.
Wow.
There are so many political people that use COVID-19 and use the vaccine as their weapon of choice in these elections. And I think it's just like happening everywhere.
Yeah, but as I said before, we encounter a lot of people during our interviewing. A lot of people say, yes, it's true. I believe that's what's happening. But you know what? I'm going to live through it because of it. So I'll pay that price.
It's kind of crazy. It really is. Now, what are the rules as far as for getting the vaccine over there in Jerusalem where you are? Is there an age limit? Do you have to be 18 and older? There was. Talk to me about that. What was it?
It started out 65 plus.
Okay.
And special needs, complicating diseases was thrown in.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was back to 60 and then to 50. And pretty when they ran out of people that were lining up for the vaccinations, everybody else got in the picture.
I picked up on something he said, Bonnie, when they ran out of people lining up.
Yeah.
So obviously they're making a lot of progress over in Jerusalem, and they're basically you guys are getting a lot of needles in arms very quickly over there.
Well, yeah, they led the world by significant numbers. In 3 weeks, they had vaccinated about 17% of the country. And now in terms of first shots, at least, or minimum of first shots, it's about 2/3 of the country. And 2 shots are about 60% now.
Yeah, we're like over here, like wondering when they're just going to kind of like let it wide open.
Yeah, they just lowered our age to 60, which allows me to get it because I just hit 61 a couple of days ago. So now,
happy birthday!
Thanks, I appreciate that, Michael. I'm set up to get. I'm getting the Johnson & Johnson, the 1-shot deal tomorrow. I have an appointment, but I have to go all the way down to Fort Lauderdale, which is an hour and a half from where I live, to get the 1-shot deal. But that's what I chose.
Yeah, well, I spoke to I've been doing some high school reunion happy hours on the Zoom, doing all this thing. Kids. Nobody, when I was in school, nobody told me my classmates were so old. I didn't expect this.
You didn't see it at the time.
No, I didn't remember that I had such elderly people in my class. But
it didn't reflect on you either.
But I've been hearing how this was upstate New York, and I know people have been driving 2 hours plus just to get any shot they could get.
Yeah. I asked my doctor, I said, listen, talk to me about the difference between Moderna, Pfizer, the 2-shot deal and the 1-shot deal. What would you recommend? And my doctor is a longtime friend of mine. And you know what his answer was? Any shot you can get, anything you can get. because
That doesn't surprise me.
no, and it's true, because what the shot's basically going to do, it's going to save your life. It's going to prevent you from going in the hospital. It'll build up your antibodies in your system, and that's really what it does. It's not going to, I mean, you could still catch COVID even though you've gotten the shot, but you'll have the antibodies to fight it off, and you won't get sick, you won't get in the hospital, and you won't get on a ventilator, and you won't die from it. And that's
When they came out with
basically
the
it.
first set of data, the first set of data after about 17% of the population was had received the first shot,
Mhm.
they found that after the first shot alone, those cases were, number one, very rare, and the cases that were discovered after that first shot were very mild. None of them qualified as serious to critical.
Mhm.
Not one.
Mhm. Our very special guest this morning is Michael Friedson. Him and his wife Felice are journalists over in Jerusalem. They have a website if you want to check out articles that they write. It's, if I remember correctly, it's themedialine.org, correct?
Right. The Media Line is one word.
Themedialine.org. Themedialine.org is the website you want to go to. How is Felice doing these days? Is she busy doing her thing as well?
Wow, amazing. Well, Felice is the head of the organization. She just did an amazing event for International Women's Month.
Mm-hmm.
And she had some of the leading Middle Eastern women, really dynamite people, on Zoom with a select group. Anybody can catch it. It's really phenomenal. And she's been doing a monthly TV program that's been on the networks.
Very nice. Again, folks, themedialine.org, themedialine.org. Michael, I want to compare before I let you go here. We have maybe about another minute or so. Talk to me about gas prices over there in Jerusalem compared to here in Florida. Gas prices have shot up immensely over the last couple of weeks. We were as low as $2.03 a gallon, and over the last couple of weeks we're somewhere around like $2.89 a gallon right now. What is it over there in Jerusalem in U.S. currency?
It's a little more than that.
All right, go ahead and give me shell shock. What is it?
I don't know exactly the number. I haven't filled up in a while.
What do you drive? How do you get around?
Oh, that's a whole long story. We have a lot of different ways of travel through, depending on what we're doing, where we're going, and how we're going to get there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Do you have like a shiny new bicycle?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
With a basket on the front.
this coming week, I'll be driving. I'll be renting a car and drive. I don't own a car.
That's what I remember. You told me that last time you were on with us. That's right.
We live in the city. We when we can, we walk to work.
Mm-hmm.
It's when we have to be out to cover something, the worst thing to have is a car.
Do you have a
Really?
Uber service there?
Yeah. Do they have Uber over there?
No, the taxi drivers have too strong of a presence. They've managed to keep Uber out.
Wow.
Ooh,
That's amazing.
it is. That's
Yeah,
it's
Uber is
interesting.
extremely very popular here in the States.
Yeah, when I'm in the States, we use it.
Yeah, it's very, very popular. It's a great rideshare service. And speaking of States, when are you guys going to be over here in the States? Because I miss you guys. I miss you and Felice.
Well, they unlocked the airport last week, so now we're actually in the process of scheduling the trip. So probably the end of April, beginning of May.
You'll be in Florida, down in the Boca Raton area,
Definitely be
hopefully?
in Florida.
Are you going to be down at Boca?
Not necessarily Boca, but those areas.
Okay.
South of you.
All right. So listen, promise me that when you get in town, you will call me, you'll text me, and we will do lunch, and I'll try to round up as many as my kids who are now grown adults. And I would love to see you. And if your kids are going to be here, I'd love to see your kids too.
That'd be great.
You'll be great. Michael, I can't thank you enough for me on short notice. I greatly, Bonnie and I both greatly appreciate it. It's always good to have you on the show and catch up and things like that.
Always love it. The more the better. We miss you very, very much.
Well, we miss you too. We go way back to the Howard Goldsmith days. It's been oh my gosh, let me see. Darren's my oldest is 31 now, so he was probably 4 when I started there. So probably at least 20. I've known you at least 25 years. At least. Easily.
Oh yeah,
easily.
definitely.
Listen, God bless you, Felice, and the entire
We've been
family.
in Israel. We've been in Israel 20 years.
Oh my gosh. Jeez, there's this
And it was
bug
about
flying
10
around
years
there.
that we were together before that, so that's closer to 30.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. Listen, be well. It's good to hear your
Thank
voice.
you.
It's good to see you too on the Zoom call as well.
Take care of yourself.
All right, take care. Bye-bye now.
Love to the missus.
Yes, and love to the missus as well. That's Michael Friedson, all the way live from Jerusalem with us this morning. It's time for the Precious Metals Report. It's all brought to you by Jewelry and Coin. Gold will be opening up at $1,741.60 an ounce, and silver will be opening up at $26.24 an ounce. That's the Precious Metals Report, and it's all brought to you by St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin.
If you have a suggestion for the show, we would love to hear from you. Send us an email to WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. Now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bud.
Time now is 8:31 on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's the Friday edition. And speaking of Friday edition, it's time for the Friday edition of the Space Report with the one and only Randy Siegel, TGIF. Randy.
And the same to you, my friend.
Thank you, buddy.
Nice to have a Friday.
Yes, for sure. For shizzle.
Yep. Well, on this date in history, back in 1965, NASA launched its Ranger 9 spacecraft to the moon, which took pictures all the way down till it crash landed, which is what it was supposed to do. Then in 1970, Air Force Major Gerald Gentry at the controls of NASA's X-24A spacecraft flew to its highest altitude of 45,000 feet after being dropped from a modified B-52 aircraft. 2018, we saw the launch of 3 astronauts to the International Space Station, and that took place with Oleg Artsemeyev, Andrew Fustel, and Richard Arnold from the United States. Last year, China suffered its launch failure of the new version of the Long March 7 rocket. They were trying to test it for the first time, put satellites in orbit, but nothing went wrong and nothing went right. A Soyuz spacecraft was launched by Russia, and this launch was done for a GLONASS navigation satellite. Also last year on this date, there was the launch of SpaceX's Falcon 9 rocket. And at the time, it was the 5th time that a booster was launched and successfully recovered. That record has since been broken. Also, we had the launch of a Long March 3B rocket, which placed a navigation satellite into orbit for China. Well, upcoming launches that you may want to get ready to see is on Tuesday, a Falcon 9 rocket will be launched from the Cape at 5:58 p.m. from the Kennedy Space Center, and it will place into orbit another group of 60 Starlink satellites. It appears now that NASA is going to get a new administrator. Everything going on in Washington seems to point to President Joe Biden, Senator Bill Nelson, to lead NASA, with former astronaut Pam Melroy becoming the deputy administrator. Nelson had a very successful career in the House and the Senate. Then he also had a flight while he was in Congress aboard the shuttle. And now Nelson appears on the cusp of being nominated to run the... Nelson is 78 years old, but he's a well-known champion of NASA and the Space Launch System. Speaking about that Space Launch System, yesterday we had a very, very successful test firing, known as a green firing, because it had the vehicle strapped to the gantry tower and not going anywhere, of its 4 RS-25 engines. They came to life at 4:37, and they burned approximately 8 minutes and 20 seconds. That's the amount of time it would be for the Space Launch System to fly into orbit once it is launched from the Kennedy Space Center. The test vehicle will now be taken off of its stand and will be shipped down to the Kennedy Space Center, where it will get ready for a firing into space to the moon in the Artemis 1 flight that will take place before the end of the year. Very interesting test and very successful one. We're now preparing on the International Space Station for a lot of work and a lot of movement of modules. Victor Glover teamed up with Kate Rubins to work on eye ultrasound tests, because as you may recall, astronauts frequently have problems when they return to Earth with their eyes. Mike Hopkins continued closing out the spacesuit tools and equipment that were used last Saturday, and Victor Glover also helped in servicing cooling systems and communication gear. The astronauts also swapped out crystal growth chamber equipment to support the industrial crystallization facility. That's where they're able to produce crystals larger in space than we can get here on Earth. Later this afternoon, at approximately 12:15, NASA TV will come on. Three astronauts will be undocking the Soyuz MS-17 spacecraft and flying around to a different port. The Earth-facing port to be available, the rocket is launched to the International Space Station. Redocking will take place at 1:07. So again, the undocking will be at 12:38 and the redocking at 1:07. This puts them in a position for accepting the new April the 9th of Mark Vande Hei, along with Oleg Novitsky and Peter Dubrov. Remember, Tuesday we'll be interviewing NASA's astronaut Mark Vande Hei before he goes into space. The James Webb Telescope finally appears to be on track to be launched. They have finally gotten that telescope operating in a proper manner, closing out all of the technical issues that they have had. So far, everything is looking good for an October launch. And that launch, believe it or not, is not going to take place with an American rocket. It's going to take place down in French Guiana using a different vehicle than an American. So it'll be interesting to see how the Ariane rocket puts this spacecraft into orbit. Also, to honor the 60th anniversary of the first launch into space, Russia has painted a Soyuz vehicle in colors that Yuri Gagarin had when he launched from the Baikonur Cosmodrome. The space agency said the new blue and white color scheme is a tribute to the Vostok rocket, which carried Yuri Gagarin on April 12, 1961, becoming the first human into space. 38 satellites will be launched on that vehicle from many countries: Argentina, Brazil, Canada, Germany, Hungary, Israel, Italy, Japan, the Netherlands, Russia, Saudi Arabia, Slovenia, South Korea, Spain, Trinidad, Thailand, the United Arab Emirates, and the United Kingdom. Wowzer, a lot of countries represented on that vehicle. The first launch from the Vazhny Space Center in eastern Russia is scheduled to take place on March 25th. That's when 38 satellites for OneWeb on a Soyuz 21A spacecraft. Also, they have had problems at Vazhny with people stealing money and having a lot of monetary problems in construction. Well, arbitration is now allowing that construction at Vazhny to continue, but the courts are overseeing the job that is being done. It appears that there have been several instances where money was missing, and now the courts are saying, we'll let you continue, but we're not sure. Lastly, we want to tell you that they are sending a Fregat rocket back to Russia from Kourou because of problems before its flight. On Monday, we'll tell you about the space, what else is going on. So until then, have a great day, everybody.
That's Randy Siegel with the Space Report. He's on the program each and every weekday at this time to talk about all things pertaining to outer space. Time to head on over to Ellie's Downtown Deli, where Bonnie is standing by with some of the best treats this side of the entire Treasure Coast.
And, and it's Friday, the end of the work week. And as we do know thus far, everybody's still eating, still enjoying food. And you might want to try some tasty Ellie's avocado toast. It comes on your choice of toasted bread topped with the avocado, the tomatoes. You get red onions, sprouts, and 2 over easy farm fresh eggs. Served with your choice of a side item. If maybe a salad is your choice, try the buffalo chicken Caesar salad. For dessert, you might want to try some sweet, fluffy Oreo pie, or maybe a half pound of triple chocolate chip cookies to enjoy and take for your kids. Ellie's Downtown Deli in Stewart now has their patio back open, plus they're at 50% with a full menu for pickup or delivery. Ellie's also has full dinners available for takeout, plus their fabulous desserts as well. Call 772-781-6605 to order and pick up today. They're located at 18 Southeast 6th Street, just off Colorado in Stewart. Call 772-781-6605. Ellie's Downtown Deli in Stewart.
It is 8:42 right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for news. Once again, it's all brought to you by our good friends at St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. For anything pertaining to precious metals, make sure and go visit Hawk Levy at any of the St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin locations. Bonnie?
Thanks, Evan. A Fort Pierce family is now left without a home after an accidental fire sparked on Wednesday night. WPTV's Derek Lowe reports.
Inside this home in the Spanish Lakes community,
I got here within 4 minutes, and the house was engulfed.
nothing is able to be saved.
I was at work, and my sister was next door. And she just told me she has my husband, and my house is on fire. It's burning to the ground.
Leslie Seibert says her was asleep when her 92-year-old husband was in the back welding on a bike, a lifelong auto and bike mechanic who his wife says has dementia and is partial.
Carpet. And I guess he froze.
Now in the hospital with third-degree burns, Leslie's husband was able to crawl to the front and was dragged out of the burning home by their roommate. 3 pets did not survive in the flames.
It was out of control, so these places go up like a matchbook.
Frank Darmiento lives in the community.
It's sad the homeowner doesn't have any coverage, and I try to get insurance and they just won't insure you. It's hard to get insurance on these mobile homes.
Now left with nothing for a third time, Leslie says she has previously had to rebuild after hurricanes.
There's no assistance, can you just give me a temporary place to lay my head? I slept in my truck last night because I couldn't get any assistance.
The fire district tells me that they are assisting, and Leslie says that she's also receiving some temporary help from the American Red Cross. Reporting in Fort Pierce, I'm Derek Lowe, WPTV, News Channel 5.
A panel of experts assembled by Governor DeSantis delivers praise for the strategies he used to respond to COVID-19 while criticizing conventional wisdom dealing with the pandemic.
Those experts, including a former member of the Trump administration's coronavirus task force, said the cure was often worse than the disease. Looking ahead, Governor DeSantis said Florida will not require proof of vaccines for travel or any other reason.
And if folks try to start doing it privately, we may have a role to play there as well.
The panel also denounced lockdowns, school closures, and mask mandates in other states. I'm Gordon Bird.
From the Magic City to Sin City for Miami Mayor Francis Suarez. He was in Las Vegas yesterday touring Elon Musk's Boring Company tunnels to see if it's possible to build a similar one under the Brickell Avenue Bridge. He says it's a win-win for the entire city.
For our residents who are looking for relief, this is something that can be done relatively quickly, inexpensively, and could be a big solution to some of our traffic headaches. And it's also environmentally sound.
Miami-Dade Transit officials estimate a $900 million price tag for a 2-mile tunnel under the river that would take about 4 years to build. Musk says he can do it for $30 in as little as 6 months. According to the technology website The Verge, President Biden will name former Florida U.S. Senator Bill Nelson as the new NASA administrator, succeeding Trump appointee Jim Bridenstine. Nelson, who lost his Senate seat to Rick Scott in 2018, flew aboard Space Shuttle Columbia in 1986. Lastly, a guy in Phoenix had to have part of his femur, hip, and glute muscle removed after a bone cancer diagnosis 2 years ago. So just walking again was a huge ordeal, but he used to run marathons. So his goal was to finish one again, and he did it. He spent 12 and a half hours walking 26.2 miles, and his surgeon supported him by also walking a marathon in San Diego while they video chatted. The NFL announced a new set of national television deals Thursday, keeping games on ESPN, ABC, Fox, CBS, NBC, Amazon, and NFL Network through the 2033 season. The agreement keeps Sunday afternoon games on CBS and Fox, Sunday night games on NBC, and Monday night games on ESPN, with some games also airing on ABC. For the first time, Amazon will be the exclusive home for Thursday night games, which will also be on over-the-air channels in the competing teams' home markets. NFL Network will also air select games. News time, we have 8:47. Weather and traffic together next.
$8:48 the time right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together. It's all brought to you by Waterway Dermatology. Dr. Ryan Schuring is located at 1050 Monterey Road in Stewart, bringing personalized health care back to dermatology the Waterway. Bonnie?
Well, right here in the Martin County area, we do have a travel advisory at the moment. It's on the Turnpike in Palm City. It's a Turnpike, Palm City area, north and southbound, where there is some smoke in that area. So use caution while driving there. Otherwise, it's a nice ride, too. We don't have any traffic accidents or tie-ups. Traffic. It's 71 right now in Stewart. In Kaloha, Hawaii, cloudy and 66. And here's our weekend weather from WPTV.
Happy Friday, sunshines. A few showers to start off your Friday morning. Then we'll see clearing conditions throughout the afternoon with more sunshine by the middle part of the day. Afternoon highs in the upper 70s to low 80s with winds out of the north-northwest around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, a chilly night on tap. We'll see temperatures down to clear skies. Tomorrow, highs in the mid to upper. Isolated showers possible for both Saturday and Sunday, slowly warming up by the middle of next week. I'm WPTV First Alert Meteorologist Katya Hall on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
You're listening to the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie on Martin County's Heritage Station, AM 1450 WSTU. Now let's get back to the program with Evan and Bonnie.
8:53 right now on the Get Up and Go Show, and coming up in just a little bit, moments away, riveting radio at its best. The award-winning, critically acclaimed Priest and a Rabbi show is going to be coming up a little bit after the 9 o'clock hour. And normally at this time, we have our Yiddish word of the day with Rabbi Durbin. But because Rabbi Durbin is not here today, stepping in and pinch hitting for Rabbi Durbin, giving us his version of a Yiddish word of the day, will be Father Christian. Good morning, Father Christian. How are you?
Hey, man. It's great to be here on the Get Up and Go show. Thank you for bringing us on. Hopefully we won't embarrass you.
No, definitely not with the man bun you have on this morning. That's for sure.
That's right. That's right.
I'm
still looking for those old paintings of Jesus with the man buns.
There you go. So, Father Christian, can you pull out of your repertoire a Yiddish word of the day for us?
What I can one up you, though, is that because of our guests were missionaries in Madagascar for 30 years, I bet I can get, a Malagasy word of the day, if that's the right word. So let me bring in Bishop Todd.
Okay.
Bishop Todd, can you give us is Malagasy the right word? Can you give us a Malagasy word of the day?
Sure, I can. The one would be tamana.
Tamana.
Basically, that means to be at home, to be at home with people, to feel like your presence. This is home. Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot. But everybody's been at home so much with the pandemic right now. I don't think anybody wants to be at home.
You don't want any more tamana.
Yes.
So then how about it? I can give you another Malagasy word.
All right.
I'm Reverend Patsy. I'm Todd's wife. And
all right.
Salama. Salama is very much like tamana, and it means hello. So salama.
Salama. We'll say hola.
Salama.
Hola.
There we go. So, Father Christian, what's on tap today for a priest and a rabbi? We know who your guests are. What's the topic going to be today?
The topic is just how do you develop rock solid faith, especially during times of discomfort and unknowingness. And so we're going to bring in these two wonderful missionaries who have returned from the mission field, and one of them now works at St. Mary's Episcopal Church. But how their faith and the relationship with God definitely leveled up by them being out in the field, the mission field, and reflect on what that's like. But what we can here in the States, not all of us can be missioners, international missioners. And so what we can learn from that in our relationship with God.
Wow. Amazing stuff. I know you and I had a private conversation off air last week about Gavin, my son, and he just got back from a 3-day mini mission trip. They went up to Vero where they camped out for a couple of days with his church, and they sent me some pictures. He actually got up and spoke to all the kids about his path leading him to where he is today. It just completely blew me away. Really did.
You're just watching this kid mature quickly before your eyes.
Oh man, it's unbelievable. It's going to be 18 years old in about 3-4 weeks. He's like got an action-packed day. He's working at the stadium with me. We have a Mets game. And then right after the Mets game, he goes right to work at Publix at his other job.
It's just amazing, and he's a handsome young man. So we still don't know how he's related to you.
I have no idea. The looks definitely came from mom, that's for sure, without a doubt. Anyway, listen, folks, make sure and listen to Priest and a Rabbi. It's going to be coming up a little bit after at 9 o'clock this morning. It's going to be a great program, especially with the topic that we're going to be talking about today. Father Christian, always a pleasure having you on the show this morning.
All right, brother. We'll be looking forward to seeing you in just a couple minutes.
All right, we'll see you in a few minutes, Bonnie. It's going to be a great program.
Closer to God each and every week.
They really do.
It's amazing.
They really truly do, without a doubt. Wow, where did the week go, Bonnie? It just like disappeared.
It did. I have interesting facts to close out on a Friday.
Yeah, please do. Tell me.
So you know how much of a cost of a pizza is over here. We enjoy our takeout, our Domino's and our Pizza Hut once in a while. Domino's and Pizza Hut are actually luxury items over in Japan.
Really?
And a large pie will cost you there around $35.
What the heck? Are you serious?
Yep.
Wow, George brought over Anthony's Pizza last night.
Was it good?
Yeah, he's like the his first day in town, he always gets an Anthony's Pizza, literally, regardless.
You know, it's been a while since I went on over and got myself some Anthony's. I know that's right over there on Bayshore Boulevard and PSL Boulevard,
Right, exactly.
right by Winn-Dixie and all that.
Exactly.
Yeah, not too far from me. I'll have to go get some.
Wow. That's amazing. What other fun facts do you have? Anything else?
We have, this is kind of weird. There have been 3 players in Major League Baseball with the first name Arello.
Oh,
and
okay.
all 3 were killed in car accidents.
Oh, wow.
Arella Monteguda died in 1990, Arello Lopez 92, and Arello Rodriguez in the year 2000.
Wow.
A weird tidbit.
Wow.
But
Crazy.
anyway, don't let that darken your path on this Friday.
No, definitely not, folks. Hey, listen, remember, if you have good values on the inside, you won't look for validation on the outside. Have a fantabulous weekend, Bonnie. Seriously.
Thank
Enjoy
you.
those kids.
And
Kids, man. They're gorgeous kids.
yeah,
Love on them.
I hope they saved up their allowance. They're all taking us out to eat. So
Well, there goes the bank. Folks, have a great day. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you back here Monday morning right here at WSTU Stewart, Martin County's Heritage Station. The news is coming up next. Don't go anywhere.